Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 140 people in 10 different countries. And the theme, this is the first in the set of 2 healings called the October 2025 Twin Set. And the theme for this set of healings and the previous set we did this month is your body, food, fitness, and face, which includes body image. So face includes body image, what you think about your body, how you present your body to others, etc. But so it's all about your physical body. And how you interact with it, how you perceive it. And so there's a lot of cool stuff that we can do, which I think will make life easier and better, basically. So that's a good thing. Let's see. So I want to explain what we are doing today. Let's see. Okay, so today there are a couple things we're doing that very directly apply to the theme. Thank you for my confirmation. I appreciate it. That very directly apply to the theme of your body, food, fitness, face. And then there are 2 that are still major, but they're just sort of things I saw that people needed, but they don't obviously relate to the theme, which is common in my healings. There will be a lot of cool stuff not hinted at by the theme. But anyway, so first I will talk about the theme related stuff. So I was noticing, we have done in the past, taking back your dreams. My kitten just turned on the TV because he's sitting on the remote control. Hold on. All right, I moved the remote control, so. Life for the kitten. Bye, kitten. Thank you, kitten babysitter. Okay. So we have talked before about how people can take your dreams and goals, and but they're easy to take back, which is nice. And then you can update them just in case someone took them from you, like, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and they're no longer goals that you want anymore. But it's good to take them back, and that's easy to do. So, but as far as your body, I noticed that there are some goals. So we did that, but only like once or twice in the past, I think, in the recent past. But I noticed in relation to the body, like I was looking at this one person the angels pointed out to me, and they mostly saw their body as like sort of something that like that their mom needed to protect, or their ex-boyfriend wanted to interact with and stuff. It wasn't like they didn't really see it as something theirs, that they wanted to live through and live with and all that. It was kind of it was a little oddly separate. And I noticed that person had a lot of their goals related to physical body and life experiences through their physical body taken by their mom when they were little because they were pretty adventurous as like a little toddler. And so sometimes that obviously, I mean, there are natural reasons why a parent might be alarmed when their little toddler is running all over the place and, you know, touching hot objects and running with sharp things and yada, 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 right? But, you know, I guess some parents are a little cleaner than others as far as managing that stage. And so her mom unfortunately just scooped out a whole bunch of her dreams and goals in order to kind of take the momentum out of her adventurousness. Because a big part of her goals for her body have to do with, you know, having adventure and experiencing life more fully and you know, all that. So anyway, we can take them back. It's easy to take them back. But they can be taken by, you know, parents, siblings, you know, exes, all sorts of people. But easy to take back, so that's good. And then obviously we'll update them in case, you know, they don't work for you anymore. Like maybe a goal when you were like 2 years old was to run around buck naked everywhere. And maybe, you know, as a grown adult, that's not your goal anymore. So we'll make sure that we have you update your goals. They work for you now. So that's that. Taking back your dreams and goals. Easy peasy. Okay. So the other main theme related thing we're going to do is explore how you view your body, your physical body. Because you can baggage that you have from past experiences in this life or past lives or both can affect whether you see your body with sort of a glass half full perspective or a glass half empty perspective. You know, do you see your body as a problem, as a potential for danger? Or do you see your body as a, you know, a vehicle to have positive experiences and adventures and, you know, feel serenity more deeply and, you know, manifest all sorts of good stuff, you know? And so it's not that life is always rosy for everybody and, you know, there's nothing sort of challenging about having a physical body at all. It's just that sometimes you don't want your baggage to color things in an overly negative way, you know, past baggage, past experiences. So we're going to clear those past experiences so that you're not limited in how you perceive your physical body. And so you're more likely to be able to feel some of your opportunities for adventure and manifesting and, you know, peace and contentment and all that that you could have with your body. So it's not all just like problems and, you know, overwhelming boundaries issues and stuff. Because I think if we can clear more of that past baggage, then even if you do have boundary issues with your physical body, you know, with like external energy and stuff, you're more likely to view it from neutral and be more methodical and effective in, you know, healing and repairing and being present. So part of that would be clearing fear. you know, a part of the baggage would be clearing. Part of the baggage would be clearing is fear around, you know, losing control of your physical body on some level, psychically, physically, whatever. So you want to have wisdom, you want to have intuition, you know, it's not like there's nothing in the world to be concerned about, but you just don't want, I would think, you don't want old baggage to just sour everything, you know? So that should be good. Too. Easy to clear. As usual, it's more complicated to explain it than it is to do it. So that's that. So those are the body related things. Clearing resistance and fear, as well as other body type baggage that you have that might make you think of your body in only negative terms, which is no fun. All right. So then the other things that are not theme related. So this, I just saw that a bunch of people needed it, but I don't know that it has anything to do with our theme. It probably doesn't. It's just cool. But I saw that people needed it right now, so why not? So it's you know, crossroads is like when you're, you know, like you're on a road and you could go left or you could go right kind of thing. So there's like some kind of a, maybe just subconscious, but a decision point that you're at or you're approaching. And so there will be baggage that triggers extra relating to that decision. And that sort of, you know, which road do you take type idea. And really both of them could be on your spiritual path, you know, both the left side and the right side, you know, it's just that maybe one is like you're doing things a longer way than the other, or, you know, a level of simplicity has, you know, is enhanced in one, or, you know, one takes more bravery than the other and therefore there are benefits to it, but it, you know, you have to clear your fear, whatever. So it's not like it's okay, do I be on my path or I'm not on my path? It's more just like, you know, fine-tuning type stuff. Kind of like, how are you living your life, I guess. You know, how do you want your life to be? What do you want your life to be like? So there could be a specific crossroads, like, you know, you're looking for a new job or something, or it could be more subconscious about, like, you know, how into your physical fitness are you going to get this winter or not? You know, so, but you don't have to know what the crossroads are that you're approaching and that are the baggage for those crossroads are kind of triggered. You can just clear the crossroads baggage, and that way the decisions are much easier. Subconscious and conscious decisions are easier. So I think that'll be good. And the other one that doesn't directly relate to the theme, but we are doing today is shoulders. Again, but better. Okay, so the better part is the governing vessel one and probably the urinary bladder. I think we'll do that too. Just so the 4 at the end there, those are literally meridians that go through the shoulders, but GV goes governing vessel meridian is a real significant one that goes up. It starts in the crotch, goes up the midline of the back, and then hooks around the head and ends in the roof of the mouth. So it's like a candy cane shape, and I've noticed, even just working on myself, that governing vessel meridian, like when it's even the lower back, but also the upper back part of it. So like as it goes up the midline of the back, like even down here and also here, really affects muscle tension here with these trapezius muscles, trap muscles. If you're in the know, you call them trap muscle traps, your traps, which I didn't know until just recently. Now I want to be cool and call them traps. So with your traps here. So your trapezius muscles. So we're gonna, as we work those shoulder meridians, we're also gonna work governing vessel meridian, so that hopefully that is like that extra ingredient to like go woo, yeah. And then urinary bladder meridian does so cool stuff down the back, because it starts in the inner eye, and then it goes back, and then it goes from 2 branches to 4 branches and goes down here and then down further. So I'm thinking, if we just add those 2 in, GV and UB, as well as do the 4 shoulder meridians and the Wei Qi auras for all those meridians. So governing vessel, Wei Qi aura, urinary bladder, Wei Qi aura, and then this small intestine, Sanjiao, large intestine, and gallbladder meridian, Wei Qi aura. I mean, you have other Wei Qi auras, or, say like your stomach meridian or whatever, and they go all around too. But for some reason, it just is the way it is, I guess. But if like the meridian is on one side of your body, that Wei Qi aura for that meridian is much more important on this side than it is on this side, it seems like. So, from what I've seen so far. So that's why we're going to especially do the shoulder meridians and these back meridians, GV and UB, but then we'll also do all of those Wei Qi aura. I mean, we can do all 17 of your Wei Qi auras, but especially those. So yeah, we'll do that. And why am I so fixated on shoulders? I don't know. I think it's super cool because, shoulder knots in your shoulders kind of suck, and, like if your spine gets out of alignment and your neck, that sucks, So being able to be more present there, I think really can help with, physically having more relaxed muscles, and spiritually, it's like a power thing, to be able to have good flow and presence in your shoulders, and you can bring in new energy that's more like about taking charge of your life and, kind of being your own boss through your shoulders. Seems like the new energy that you would have of yours that you would bring in this way. It just seems like it's like, wow, I'm doing it, So I like that. So we'll work shoulders. We did work shoulders already in the triplets set earlier this month, but first we just did like 3 of the shoulder meridians, then we did 4 of them, but now we'll add GV and UB, which I think, from my experience, it's just so much more complete weighted. So that should be nice. I'm looking forward to hearing people's comments on that in the post-healing surveys, if you don't mind. I may add I'll add an extra question for that to the survey, if I remember. The post-healing survey. So for those of you that don't know, when I mentioned the survey, it's a survey that I email to people who purchased this set of healings. So I am literally going to be healing them in this live stream, during this live stream, as I, move my hands around. I'm healing those particular people, the 140 people that purchased this healing and the set of healings. And so late tonight, I email out the survey link so that tomorrow or the next day they fill out the survey, and then I study what they wrote and read their energy. And as I'm planning, that's what the survey is. And anyone is welcome. Let's see. So you too could purchase a set of healings if you wish at some point. The November and December sets are for sale on my website right now. And each month, the sets that I put up for sale are for 2 months ahead. So like on November 15th, I'll put up the January sets. January is always like an especially exciting time to get healings, I think. Just because even the like mainstream people think about positive change in January. So I think that helps have sort of like an ambient, like the despair tends to kind of break in January. The mass sort of angst takes a breather in January oftentimes. Nice. Alrighty, so I'm going to look at chat comments. Oh, and I should say, I'm not sure I said it, but I'm always open to working with new people, even if I haven't worked with you before. You can purchase a set of healings, like I said, on my website. And afterwards, if you want, you can use the contact form on my website to say hi and email me, or you can just email me. My email is janet@awhealing.com. Okay. Now we'll just look at chat comments before we get going. All right. Hi, Janet. We can see and hear you in Chicago. 50s and sunny. That's nice. We probably have 50s, but it's definitely cloudy here. Which it will be cloudy here for the next 5.5 months or so. Probably. I am in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Olympia, Washington State. Pretty, lots of trees. Just not much sun in the winter. LOL, I was wondering why the TV was suddenly on. Yes, that was the kitten thing going on, but my husband is babysitting the kitten now, so hopefully, I mean, he's delightful, but a little too distracting for me during the live stream. Hello from Ottawa, Canada. Hello to you. 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I guess that's not bad for this time of year. I'm just watching the sunset while I take part in this healing. Well, that sounds nice. Yeah, because you're on the East Coast. We don't, our sun, I mean, you can't really tell our sun's out, but we don't have sunset till, for another 3 or so hours, 3.5 hours. But that's nice. Hope you enjoy your sunset. Back many years ago, I had a great apartment for watching sunsets in Chicago. I lived in a high rise. Lived on the 11th floor. And it was nice. I had a westward view. I could see like planes landing and taking off at O'Hare in the distance. Lots of sunset views. Very nice. Someone says, hi from D.C., Washington, D.C., the capital of the U.S. Sunny but chilly, 56. I'm seeing your historical, what temperatures you're normally used to, biasing that as a chilly 56. Feeling a bit miserable, so looking forward to the healing. Well, sorry about that, but I hope the healing is going to help. Very excited to work the crossroads baggage. Yes, you were one of the sample people, one of the several sample people for that one. Someone says, "Hey, Janet, can see and hear you from sunny Las Vegas, 80 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny." Ooh, I am happy for you, but in a clean way, I am a teeny bit jealous of that. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Looking forward to the healing and the essentials. Yes. Time to get some repair. Someone says, "Good afternoon, Janet. I am working and listening from cloudy and peaceful Portland, Oregon." Yay for Portland, Oregon. Give you a little frog emoji for Portland if I can pull up my emojis. Let's see. Little frog emoji. All right. So, when we start, okay, so I'm going to do 3 minutes of quiet in a minute, but I want to talk first because I have to explain. So, I'm going to do 3 minutes of quiet, during which time I'll finish my prep and say hello to the people I'm about to heal on a telepathic, nonverbal level, just so on a spirit level, they're really, really, really aware that the healing is about to start. And then I will start the healing. My hands will go like that. That's how you know I've started healing. And I will be quiet for a minute or two as I start, and then I will talk as I heal after that for the rest of the healing. I'll explain what I'm doing as I do it. So you could use it as a self-healing walkthrough if you wish, and it would be an all levels walkthrough. So if you're an adventurous newbie, you know, go for it. You can wing it and do plenty of cool self-healing to it. If you're intermediate or advanced on any level, there should be a lot of varied and interesting things in it for you. That's that. All right. We'll do the quiet. Okay, thanks for waiting. So let's get the hand chakras going, and then, we'll see where we go from there. Okay. So you have a big energy center in the palm of each hand called your hand chakra, and then you have an energy center in each fingertip, which I call your fingertip chakras. So you can just set those particular chakras with your intention to a metallic gold color, just with your thought. You don't have to be able to see. But if it helps you to imagine metallic gold by looking at it, this is some gold glitter for your for your visual reminder. But by setting those energy centers to gold, then when they spin, they're generating energy at that vibration. So then you just use the gold light from one hand to unblock and repair the other hand. Kind of like gold soap and water. So you can go ahead and heal your wrists and your hands and your fingers. You have a lot of super cool meridians that go through your fingers, your hands, and your wrists. 3 of them are the shoulder meridians that we're going to be working later. So that's cool. And hands are kind of easy to do direct healing with, but you can also do them as a copy, which becomes extra useful if you're healing other parts of your body, like the back of your shoulders and your back of your elbows and stuff. It might get awkward if you're, doing all that. So you can just make a copy out in front of you of your shoulders, arms, and hands, and use gold light and wash out, repair. And I don't want to get too much into shoulder healing right now because we will do that later, but you can do a little, gold light through your neck and your shoulders, down your arms. And sorry, sometimes I get really hot when the healing starts. Hold on a sec. So shoulders, neck. And now you have 17 auras. So just imagine all those auras around you. They go all around you. So it's not just like, once I saw a drawing where like some were up here, some were here, some were down there. It's not like that as far as I can see. They're all around you. Like your body is right in the middle of all of your auras. All around you. So you have 17 auras, astral body, physical body, and then 15 auras called Wei Qi auras, which help to nourish all your meridians and just help you with strong boundaries energy. Wei Qi is a strong boundaries energy in traditional Chinese medicine. So use lots of gold light and just have a copy out in front of you of all your 17 auras, and just use your hands and comb through, wash out all the junk. You have 2 groundings. Let's work that a bit. So you can recreate both your groundings and make them nice and wide as all your auras, and keep them that wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Make them both the same color, either red or orange or yellow. And you could test each color real quickly. Red groundings, how well is you're releasing with red groundings. Orange groundings, how well is you're releasing. Yellow groundings, how well is you're releasing. How fast. It's the downward flow. Just go back to whichever color you prefer of those three. I would recommend it's red or orange or yellow. I mean, you know, you can do what you want, but that's what I would recommend, just because those colors are less likely to trigger too much in your lower chakras. Oh, and bring up your groundings high as your third chakra. I think that just gives extra support to your lower chakras if your grounding comes up that. It goes all the way down. The third chakra is below the sternum. So your sternum is a bone that goes right here, and so right below that is third chakra. So, through a copy of your grounding all the way down to the core of the earth and just melt away the blocks. And there could be a lot triggered, you know, because I was talking about a whole bunch of stuff, theme related and otherwise. So it could be there's stuff triggered from what I've already discussed in this live stream or just from life. Be a lot triggered. So just use gold light and melt it all away out of your ground. And you can check your astral body grounding separately. You can like imagine them separately, because sometimes you'll have really good flow in one and not the other, but you might not notice because you're only viewing them together. So why don't you just look at your astral body grounding, which grounds your astral body aura and your astral body, and which is you as a spirit. So look at that grounding, what connects your astral body aura and your astral body to the core of the earth, and just see, okay, is that nice and wide? Is it flowing even in the back? And just melt everybody out of the way. So you have a nice, strong, flowing grounding for your astral body energy system. And then just imagine just your physical body grounding. So the grounding for your physical body and your physical body's aura. So that the grounding that connects all that to the core of the earth. Imagine that all by itself so you can see. Maybe one side is more blocked than the other. Melt away the blocks with cold light. Check the back, check the front, or middle part of it. Check it, melt away the blocks. So you can comb through all those auras like we've been doing, comb through 17 auras and check intuitively, do you need aura repair? And chances are you might. I mean, I guess chances are, it depends. If you just healed all your auras, then maybe not. But, you know, let's go ahead and repair. So repairing your aura means you're repairing rips in your aura that generally are there because someone threw energy at you. So they're easy to fix. Don't worry. So just make an image of a rip and just say, okay, well, this represents all the rips in my 17 auras. So that as you're repairing this one rip, you're repairing all the rips. It's like a composite copy rip. Right? So just create your composite copy rip. Say, okay, well, this represents all the rips in my 17 auras. And then to repair this rip, you clean it out and then use more gold light and it just grows back. So to clean it out, use sticky gold wax. That's gold light from your hands that hardens and sticks to whatever's not you. And then you lift all that out as a lump and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax, got all the junk as a lump. Angels, here you go. So what is that junk? Hard objects that people may have thrown at you, invasive people, invasive beings that are in the way still. So sticky gold wax, lift out all that junk. Angels, here you go. So then now you should be able to get the gold light really deep in there so that the repair begins. All right. And so we will just do it one more time for any leftover rips that didn't get repaired. So make a new composite copy rip. Just say, okay, well, this represents all the rips that I have still left over, and do the same process again. But you could say too, you know, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? And then do the same stuff. So sticky gold wax, lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all that junk. Angels, here you go. And get your gold light nice and deep in there. You can redo your gold buffer zones. Gold buffer zones are big gold flowy force fields that you can create and put at the edge of your physical body aura and your astral body aura, and then you just recreate them fast whenever you feel like they've gotten hacked through. Recreate them. There is a video, gold buffer zones, Janet Wright, if you search Janet Wright gold buffer zones. Alrighty, so auras are mostly repaired now, let's say, or all repaired, hopefully. Although if you still have a problem area, you could double check certain auras around that area. You know, like if your shoulder still feels weird, you can double check all the shoulder related Wei Qi auras especially, you know, and check blah, blah, blah. But we'll do shoulders later. Great. Just real quickly, we can repair gold mesh spheres. So gold mesh spheres, GMS, gold mesh spheres. So each Wei Qi aura is a big gold flowy force field. Why is it gold? It's gold because you have these gold mesh spheres within it that generate gold light all the time. They're kind of, you know, like a chakra generates energy all the time. But your Wei Qi auras, they're just big force fields, but they have gold mesh spheres. And so anyway, that means you have a lot of those. You have 15 innermost ones, 15 middle ones, and 15 outermost ones because you have 15 Wei Qi auras. So just, you know, we're not going to bother doing them all one at a time. Just, you know, imagine all of them and just use lots of gold light and repair. Because sometimes there'll be a spot where it's missing, where maybe you used to have aura damage and the gold mesh didn't grow back properly. So if you just notice any gaps in your Wei Qi auras, use extra gold light so they can grow back. And those gold mesh spheres, they generate gold light so that fills up the Wei Qi aura with gold, but then it also directs it inward towards that particular meridian that Wei Qi aura is supposed to support. So you just do this with your intention. You don't have to have perfect vision to see where the gaps are. All right, good enough. So creative rings are up here, 1, 2, 3. They're important. If they're damaged, that sucks. But they're easy to repair, so that's the good news. So just check, you know, make a copy out in front of you of your 3 gold rings. They're a part of you as a spirit. They come and go with you, your astral body. But just you sense, see if there's any broken, like cracks or missing pieces, and just use lots of gold light so they can grow back. if you have damaged your creative rings and you're repairing them, it's not like, oh, I'm so shocked, generally. It's like, oh, okay, there's some damage, I'm going to repair it. But say you have like particular damage, like, dang, look at that, you want to look and see, okay, well, who did that? Just because like maybe they're still whacking you, in which case you can like maybe help encourage them to chill the heck out, or if it's an invasive being or several, you can have your angels recycle those beings. But I guess no matter what, you can look for, invasive energies that are messing with your creative rings. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are messing with my creative rings? Just take a deep breath, or 2 or 3. So your creative rings, just like the chakra openings, this would be a copy of a chakra. And so the round openings have flaps, just like your creative rings have flaps. So the flaps, if they stick open and they're irritated, they stick open like this. And so that's how they look when they're open. But the flaps ideally would just be shut. And so it's like a nice smooth surface. So you wouldn't really see them, obviously, like that. This is just if, people are courting you or invasive beings are courting you, sending their energy in, it irritates the ring and it puffs it out. Same thing with chakras. If you have foreign energy coming in that's not yours, it puffs out the flaps. So you want to melt the cords going into your creative rings with gold light so that the flaps can relax and fall shut. Because otherwise it can kind of snowball, and you have a couple pairs of cords and now you have a whole bunch of cords because your flaps are open. You could bring up purple earth energy from the core of the earth just for your creative rings. So core of the earth, all the way up, bring up purple earth energy and soak your creative rings with purple earth energy. Oh, excuse me. So just double check, are the flaps open or are they shut? If they're still open, maybe you missed some hard objects that are stuck in the rings, irritating things, causing leaks, which then attract invasive energy. So you can just sticky gold wax your creative rings and maybe also your upper chakras as well while we're at it. So chakras 7, 6, 7 in the top of your head, 6, 5, before 2, just for kicks. So 7, 6, 5, 4, just have copies of those chakras out in front of you. I'm going like that because that's the orientation of the chakra. The 7 chakras are oriented this way, round opening in the top and the bottom, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are oriented this way with opening in the front and the back. But anyway, so you have your copies of your chakras 7, 6, 5, 4, and your creative rings, and just use sticky gold wax. And have it stick to everything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, and then move that out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, creative rings 7, 6, 5, 4. Have it stick to everything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Move it out. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. Be in your butt, be in your toes, your fingertips, shoulders, of course. You can unblock a little bit above and below your creative rings. All right, good job. So that was repair and unblock, and then sticky gold wax. Oops. All right. So we'll do standard chakra repairing and unblocking, repairing all your major and minor chakras at once. But then maybe we'll do a little extra, whatever. We'll see after that related to chakra. We'll see. I don't want to commit to exactly. To be spontaneous. But first it'll be the standard stuff. So you just imagine a copy out in front of you of a chakra and you have it represent all your chakras of your body and your spirit. So that includes the 7 major chakras, 7 of your physical body, 7 major chakras of your astral body, but then minor chakras would be every other chakra you have, including all the acupuncture points in your body. Those are chakras. You have chakras to keep energy flow throughout every major energy channel, around every joint. So anyway, you have a copy, your composite copy of a chakra. You say, okay, this represents all my chakras. And then go ahead and use gold light to repair and unblock it. And your intention is you want to do as much as is healthy and gentle to do right now. And again, you want those flaps to relax. You don't want them sticking out. You want them to relax, right? So unblock, melt cords enough so that the flaps can just be smooth rather than sticking out. You say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are messing with my chakras? Does that mean your angels now have recycled every single invasive being that's screwing with your chakras? No, probably not. Because that would be too big of an energy shift. So they do it in batches. So if you ask again, they'll do some more. They do it in batches. Angels do it in batches so that it's only as much as is healthy and gentle for you in that moment. You can just melt the baggage right off of the chakra with gold light, and it'll fall down to the core of the earth, or you could lift out the baggage above the chakra and then melt it that way, or lift it out, melt everyone out of it, and then blow it up with some pretty fireworks. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty, but that's kind of fun. Like, what's a good example of? Here's some confetti. So maybe when you blow up your baggage, it's, or what's the other confetti that I use all the time? There you go. Maybe that's your when you blow up your baggage, you turn it into really, really pretty confetti. All right, so you have all your chakras, lift out the baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, melt everyone out of it, melt the cords, and then blow it up if you want, or just keep. Lift out the baggage, and you can hand it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? So baggage can be stuffed in the chakra, or it can be blocking the flow through one of the openings, or it can be wrapped around the outside of the chakra. And you want to repair the chakra too. You can have cracks or chunks missing around the round openings. And lift out any baggage, melt it away. Any baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. All right, good enough. So now we'll just have fun with chakras. Since we did the repair. So you can just comb through your major chakras along your spine. Comb down your legs. Check out the chakras in your legs and feet. You have all sorts of cool bones and joints in your feet, so that means lots of chakras in your feet too. And comb through your neck and shoulders and arms and fingers, all the cool energy centers and route. Especially around the major joints, like your shoulder joints, your elbow joints, your wrists, fingers, your knuckles, stuff. And all those chakras, they generate energy, so you can just sort of sense your auras all around. We already did aura repair, so they should be pretty whole and full of your energy, hopefully. It just get a sense of like, do your chakras work together, you know, or is this like, are some overspinning and some are just so stuck and blocked, you know, just kind of comb through them. And you want to encourage like a harmony and a cooperation between your chakras. Couple deep breaths. Okay, so now we're gonna do this stuff back here. So your base of skull points are 2 rows of acupuncture points right here with your chakras, and they're really cool and nice to unblock those and the auras around them. So that's base of skull points. And then good karma windows are back here in the astral body aura, 1 window per aura layer. So there's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each one looks like a triple frame window. So like 3 concentric squares. So each good karma window looks like that, but each one is a different color, whatever color your energy is in that aura layer. So they're kind of like back doors into your astral body aura, which can be, you know, an issue if they're damaged, because then it's like an open door for invasive energy. But if they're not damaged, if they're repaired and whole and you're present there, it can be a nice way, a nice location for you to bring in your new positive change energy, nice uplifting, inspiring energy for you. You can comb through those good karma windows with gold light from your hands and repair them. It's just like as if you had a picture frame, you know, it can have cracks in the frame, you know, or in the window part. So you want to just have that nice and flowing and whole. And you can have energies stuck in there that have been in there for a long time. Like maybe you have an older sibling who's like always there, you know, or just some random invasive beings and stuff. So you can imagine it sort of like if you're weeding in a garden and you pull up a weed and you want to get the roots of the weed usually, as well as, you know, the stem and the leaves. So it's the same thing here with your good karma window. So there could be some invasive energy, say, you know, your bossy sister, you know, and she's woven her energy in through here. And so it's anchored into, her energy is anchored into, you know, one or several of your major chakras or your base of skull points. So that's where it would be rooted. And then that's sort of the stem and the leaves of the plant, so to speak, of her energy. So just use gold light and get the whole thing. So the roots and the stem and the leaves, right? So gold light and just ease it all out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So any energy that's not you, that's coming through that way, get the leaves and the stem and the roots, you know, gold light, loosen it all up. Angels, here you go. Get the roots and the leaf and the stem, loosen it up. Angels, here you go, right? And then now let's look at the base of skull points. So this is a diagram showing lots of really cool acupuncture points, which, as I said, are all chakras. Again, basic chakra shape, just like this, except with these chakras, they fit within the meridian, and their job is to keep energy flowing within the meridian. So that's easy enough. So the base of skull points, it's 2 horizontal rows of dots that you see right there on the diagram, 2 horizontal rows of chakras. And one at the level of the top of the earlobe, one at the level of the bottom of the earlobe. And so just you can use gold light to heal any of these meridians. These lines are meridians, traditional Chinese medicine meridians. And so use gold light. You could use red earth energy as well. Bring up red earth energy for any body meridian. Red is a nice color, as well as, you know, gold for repairing and unblocking. So you want these meridians to be like red flowy tubes with red flowy life force in there of yours and your physical bodies. So just check it out and use gold light to heal it and repair. So each of these little chakras, they generate energy and they also keep the energy flowing. And you don't really need to know the names and direction of flow for a meridian in order to heal it, because you just repair it and unblock it, and then the chakras know which way to flow naturally without you telling it what to do. But just for your information, if you didn't know, that midline one, that's the GV meridian that I was talking about earlier, governing vessel meridian. And then the yellow one in the diagram is urinary bladder meridian, UB, which I also talked about. We'll heal more when we do the shoulder stuff. Urinary bladder meridian. And then the sort of the teal green one right there, that's gallbladder meridian, GB, gallbladder meridian. And you could just quickly comb through those particular Wei Qi auras as well. Like I said, all these meridians, they have their own Wei Qi aura. So the governing vessel Wei Qi aura, governing vessel meridian Wei Qi aura is a big gold flowy force field that goes all around you. But especially important is the part, you know, right around where the path of the meridian is. So comb through your governing vessel meridian Wei Qi aura behind your base of skull area. Multi-way blocks. And then urinary bladder meridian, the yellow lines there, has its own Wei Qi aura, and which of course goes all around you. But most important is, you know, the part of the Wei Qi aura that's right around the path of the meridian. You can just comb through the urinary bladder meridian, Wei Qi aura that is behind your head and your upper back, your neck. It should be fully repaired already, but if it's not, of course, you can do that with gold light. Your angels to recycle any invasive beings in the way of your work. And then gallbladder meridian, Wei Qi aura. That goes a lot on the sides of your head, but there is part of it that does go through the base of the skull there, that teal green line. So you can double check the gallbladder meridian, Wei Qi aura around the sides of your head and base of skull. Make sure it's repaired too, no gashes. The angels can recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair and unblocking. All right, good enough. Good job, good job. So that concludes the 5 essentials, which we do at the start of each healing, because they are very important. Skip them and you need them. It's not great to skip them. Let's change the scenery for our next thing to do. About so this is a photo. I don't know if I took this year or last year, but I always like taking photos of bees sleeping on flowers. I think it's cute. So that's a bunch of bees taking naps on echinacea flowers in my garden. Fun fact, I have 10 echinacea plants on their way to me that I'm ideally going to plant before the frost makes them dormant. But I guess I could plant them even after the frost makes everything dormant. As echinaceas are perennial. Hopefully that goes well. They were on sale because it's so late in the year. They were on sale. Oh. All right, so I'll label that later. People can find it if they want. Okay. So let's clear crossroads baggage. I wanted to do this relatively early in the healing because some people, it's so triggered, their baggage relating to some kind of an upcoming decision or yeah, conscious or subconscious decision that it's distracting. It's too distracting. So let's get that baggage cleared and out of the way so you can, so your brain can kind of unfreeze, basically. It's not always experienced. Like if you have crossroads baggage triggered, you might not always experience it as like a brain freeze. But it can be. Like one sample person I saw, like it was one of the kids I'm healing. Well, actually, they're technically an adult now. It's funny because if I'm healing a kid from like when they're a kid, and then now they're like 18 years old, it's like I have to keep reminding myself, wow, they're 18 now, and I'm not even the parent. Funny. But anyway, okay. So, but one of the kids I'm healing is kind of stalled on like writing his college entrance applications and stuff, and you may be stalled on doing some kind of a project. And sometimes it's, you haven't just finished it on the astral first where you're working on it with your angels. So it's like a work in progress. So it's not ready. You're not ready to do it yet. But sometimes it's that it's just, involves like sort of a milestone in your life or some major decision or choice or shift. And so there's a lot of baggage associated with that gets triggered. And so if we clear the baggage, it'll just be easier for you to move forward and make more progress with it. So let's do it. All right. So we'll keep it simple. Just make a big old blanket out in front of you and pile onto it any baggage. And you don't have to know what the crossroads are for you, like now or the next year or whatever crossroads are triggered for. And even the ones that aren't yet triggered, you could just do crossroads now and in the next year, next 12 months or so. So any crossroads that you have that are triggered now or in the next 12 months, any baggage that you have related to those crossroads, put that baggage out in front of you. Don't worry if it's too much because we're about to ask the angels to sort through it for you. So angels, is this too much? Is this a healthy and gentle amount to clear right now? That way your angels will sort through it for you and remove anything that's too much to clear at this time. Deep breath. So then anything that's still there is healthy and gentle to clear right now. And so you can, and also ask your angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are connected to this junk? Breath. So then now you can do the rest. Just bring up red earth energy and use gold light to melt people's cords out of all this stuff. It's a little more likely that people are courting this stuff just because, crossroads involve major decisions or choices or, sort of quality of life adjustments. And it could trigger the people around you a little. So they might cord by accident. So just melt away all their cords, melt their energy away. And melt your energy out of the baggage so that then you can either blow it up or just keep melting it with gold light. It's all gone. If there's any left over, wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? So we'll do that one more time, maybe a little faster. So make a big gold blanket out in front of you. Pile onto it any inner baggage that you have or other people's energy in your space relating to upcoming crossroads for you. So any crossroads, major decisions, subconscious or conscious decisions in the next 12 months, just put the baggage out in front of you that's triggered by that or other people's energy in your space about it. And say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And a deep breath while your angels sort through it. And then angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this stuff? Breath. So then now you can do the rest, just lots of gold light, melt everybody out of these piles. And you could bring up red earth energy to start the draining off of your energy and everyone else's energy out of the pile. And just keep melting all that stuff, or you can just blow it all up. And if anything's left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? All right, good job. Okay, so we're going to do something related to that the angels suggested, which is healing flowers for you and for the people in your life, regarding your crossroads, your upcoming crossroads. So the healing flowers for other people, we'll make sure to have the angels tune them, and we'll give them to the angels. So then the angels will only deliver them if they're helpful, and they'll do it super cleanly, and they won't like dump them in the person's face. So it'll be as diplomatic as possible and as safe as possible that way. So then if the healing flowers would just, upset the person, the angels won't give it to them. It's easier. But first you can give yourself. And the reason for this is just because you might be holding yourself back a little because you know that your decisions are going to maybe be uncomfortable for some people in your life. But this way, if you give yourself healing flowers and you make healing flowers for the angels to give to other people, it might help to make it easier for everybody, an easier shift. Okay. So that was explaining. So this is okay. So just go ahead. You can use your hands or not. I like using my hands, of course. So just you're going to create energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy. Your intention, it can be rainbow colors or gold or both, is make just the right vibration to nourish you, to help you feel ready and safe and uplifted for the crossroads decisions and choices that you have potentially now and in the next 12 months. So just make a lot of energy healing flowers for yourself, tune them to just the right vibrations so that it's healing and uplifting for you and nourishing for you, based on the crossroads that you have before you now and that you may have in the next 12 months. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Deep breath, let you, allow yourself to receive that healing energy wherever you need it. Okay, make some more healing energy flowers for yourself. And if you don't like flowers, use some other shape, like make little toy cars for yourself or whatever. Energy healing balloons. Make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers, tune them at just the right vibration to nourish you. You feel safe and supported and ready for your crossroads that are now or in the next 12 months. And say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Okay. And now we will do angel assisted healing flowers regarding your crossroads for other people in your life. So like say if, your kind of bossy triggered sister, on a spirit level, she'll get pretty triggered when you make a certain choice in this upcoming crossroad, and you don't necessarily want that backlash, and maybe you hold back a little just because you're nervous about her backlash, but maybe the healing flowers will help kind of smooth it over with her, maybe. But the angels would only deliver them if they help, right? So it's good. So make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers for any people in your life. You don't have to worry how many people, just, make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers and tune them, with your intuition to whatever nice vibration might be comforting for the people in your life. And, it's universal healing energy. It's not your life force, so that's fine. Tune them to help, be comforting to people that you know. And then say, angels, can you check these flowers? They're for the people in my life. Can you check these flowers? And angels, can you only deliver these flowers if they'll help? And that's it. You did it. So you could notice particular people in your life and see if they got flowers and if they've received them or they haven't, or they're just kind of looking at them and they didn't take them, or maybe the angels felt it was better not to give them to that person. And don't worry, if the person hasn't received them yet, but they're like sitting there, the flowers are sitting there and they'll think about them later, it's fine. You don't have to micromanage that. All right, deep breath. All right, good job. All right, let's change the scenery for this one. Okay. Okay. So I explained this already in the intro discussion before the healing started. And it's easy. So we're just going to take back any dreams and goals that may have been taken from you, maybe when you were a little kid from like an older sibling or parent, or maybe in a past life. Or maybe, maybe you have like a neighbor who's a little bit envious for some reason. And they borrowed some of your goals and forgot to return them. So anyway, we're going to take them back. Okay, so you don't have to go into anybody's space to do this. It's easy. You just make a big gold magnet and you call back your own dreams and goals, and that's fine. So make a big gold magnet, make it whatever shape you want, like a big gold ball or a gold, like in the cartoons, a U-shaped magnet or a pyramid or a cube, whatever you like. And just say, okay, this is a magnet. I'm going to call back my dreams and my goals, especially having to do with body, food, fitness, face. So exercise, body image, clothing, fashion, sleeping, nutrition, how much water you drink, all those good things, right? So have your gold magnet and call back all your ideas and dreams, goals. All back into your big gold magnet, and you can let the magnet expand the more you bring back if you want. Call it all back to you, and then you can just use lots of gold light and clean it off. Make sure it's just you in there, your dreams and goals. You can say, angels, can you clean this off for me? And as far as like updating these dreams and goals to make sure you still want them, you know, because maybe like your older siblings stole it from you when you were 6 and it's not a goal that you even want anymore. So just use lots of gold light, and you could maybe do like a tricolor soak. Red earth energy, orange earth energy, yellow earth energy, lots of gold light. And just with the gold light, have your intention be that you're just updating all these dreams and goals and ideas so that if something doesn't work for you, it just melts away, and or you know, it just gets updated into something that works for you now. And then again, you say, angels, can you check all this for me? And then give it back to yourself. Deep breath. So let's do a tricolor soak for our whole energy system, and then we'll do that again. We'll take back more dreams and goals. So you can recreate both your groundings if you want. Make them nice and big and wide as all your auras, red or orange or yellow. And make your groundings red and bring up red earth energy all the way up from the core of the earth. Soak everything all the way up, 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 up in red earth energy. Everything through your body, your spirit, red earth energy, and then bring that down. And then make your grounding orange and bring up orange earth energy from the core of the earth. Soak everything in orange earth energy. And remind yourself you can receive, you can let go. And then bring that down and make your grounding yellow and bring up yellow earth energy all the way from the core of the earth. Soak everything in yellow earth energy. Breaths. And then you can change it to, you know, back to red or orange if you prefer. You could leave it all the way up and soak in the earth energy still, or you can bring it down to the level of your 3rd chakra just for a nice grounding. Okay, so that was a little grounding palette cleanser. So we'll just do one more time, taking back your dreams and goals especially about body, food, fitness, face, exercise, nutrition, body image, fashion, clothing, yada, yada, everything. So make a big gold magnet and call back all your goals and ideas and dreams, especially about all the things I just listed. So call all those things back of yours. Maybe you gave them to somebody, maybe somebody took them. Call them all back into the magnet. Say, angels, can you clean all this off for me? It's just my energy. And you can use lots of gold light to make sure these dreams and goals and ideas are updated so they work for you now. And then you can go ahead and give that back to yourself. All right, good enough. Ooh. Good job, good job, good job. Okay, so continuity. This in a way is a little preview of next month, because next month we're working on discipline, and discipline in that, being able to work towards goals that are not always, fun to work towards, but the goal is really meaningful towards you, for you. So you do what it takes, and you're able to motivate yourself through it, to reach your long-term goal. So we're going to work that a lot next month, which I am thrilled about. I could use that, because it's really a priceless ability to have that level of discipline where you can, not torture yourself, but you understand how to motivate yourself and how to kind of, get out of your head and make change happen, work towards what you want in your life. So this is a little bit of that. The angels reminded me of this because we were just working taking back your dreams and goals. And sometimes what can happen is you get healings like this, and, all of a sudden you're able to work out, an exercise again, maybe, and you weren't working out for like, a couple months or a couple years or whatever, you stopped. And so you're like, oh my God, this is so great. I'm working out. Oh, I'm so proud of myself, and then like maybe it lasts a week, maybe it lasts a month, maybe it lasts 2 months, but then you stop again. So I think getting smart about why you might have stopped and how to restart again, because it's easy to freak out and be like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I can't keep it going. Oh, it happened. I did exercise for like 2 days in a row, but then I didn't do any more after that, I get really stuck about it. So one way that you could lose continuity is that you took back your dreams, goals, and ideas, but then somebody took them again. So you had all this discipline and motivation for like, using your treadmill on your standing desk, and you were using it every day or every other day, and you were like so proud of yourself. And then, your brother's like, you know what? Screw you. I want to take that out of your aura. So then it's sort of like you feel discouraged every time you think about doing it, So that's possible, people can put stuff in your space or take stuff out of your space, to kind of mess with the continuity of your progress. So we can't make everybody in your life perfectly respectful, unfortunately. But what we can do is clear baggage around continuity so that you don't like automatically go like, oh my gosh, I'm such a loser when it happens. That you can be more rational and neutral about it and be like, okay, well, let me think about why I'm not doing it. Is it just because I need a rest, or I need to change a pace, or that's not the right exercise for me right now? Or is it because my, sociopath brother took it from me again? In which case you can take it back again, take back your own ideas and dreams and goals back, and ask for extra angel help with boundaries with that person. So it's great if you can just clear the baggage. What we're going to do now is clear baggage around breaks in your continuity, around issues with your discipline, around, issues with your, self-esteem, your self-image, your motivation, so that because we can't give you a perfect life. We can't just be like, okay, this set now fixed your whole life, right? But we can, hopefully, we can work to clear judgment, depression, that kind of stuff. So that then if you do get stuck about something, you're just like, yeah, I'm pretty stuck, but you don't like torment yourself about it. You don't, because like there, you can have a problem, but then you can have a problem about having the problem, which then like you have double problem. And it's harder to unstick yourself if you're flipping out about being stuck. I hope that makes sense. So right now we're going to clear is baggage that may give you a continuity problem, or baggage that just makes you trip out about having a continuity problem and kind of makes you spiral and blame yourself and, train wreck about it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So let's do it. Okay. So, we can just do a gold blanket again. So make a big gold blanket out in front of you and put onto it any baggage that would make you like really potentially kind of self-blame or self-judge or trip out or get depressed and super discouraged if you should have a break in your continuity with healthy behaviors or a break in your continuity with, exercise or self-care. Just any baggage around, having slowdowns in your positive behaviors and positive thinking. Just put all that baggage out in front of you and just say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath while your angels sort through it. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Deep breath. And then you can do the rest. Just bring up red earth energy, gold light, melt everybody out of all this stuff. Melt their cords, wash everybody's energy out, wash your own energy, your own judgment, your own resistance out of all this stuff. And just keep melting this baggage till it's all gone. Or at this point, you could blow it all up too. And if there's any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Okay, so let's do that again. Big gold blanket out in front of you. Put onto it any baggage that you may have that would get triggered if you had some kind of a break in the continuity of your healthy behaviors, of a break in your physical health, some kind of a discouraging outcome, or some slowdown in your healthy behaviors or self-care. If there's any baggage that would make it overly dramatic or extra depressing, just put all that out in front of you. Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this stuff? Deep breath while your angels clean it up. And then just use lots of gold light, melt everybody out, melt their cords away from the baggage. And then just use extra gold light to melt the baggage. Melt it all away. And if there's any there still, you can blow it up. Still some there, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? Couple deep breaths. All right, good job, good job. Let's do some butterflies to celebrate. Yay, great job, great job. Oh my gosh, cuteness overload. Butterflies and kittens all at the same time. The good thing the kittens are sleeping, otherwise they might try to swat the butterflies. Pretty cute. Oh, if you have not already done so, could you please consider giving this live stream and or this video a thumbs up? Because it does help, and it could help YouTube to take it more seriously and show this live stream to somebody who maybe could be helped by learning this stuff. It should be cute. All right. So let's do some more scenery change. How about go? I'm going to look for a minute, see what's best for us to do next. Okay, cool. So I did discuss this already in the intro, and I'm just adding a little extra twist, just a little slight bit of detail in that you might have some baggage in your space that causes you to see your body as a problem, either a boundaries problem or just a burden, like a hassle, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to keep eating or I have to keep drinking water. It's so distracting, or whatever. Oh, why do I have to spend so much time asleep for this silly body, So you might have a negative view of your body in a way that is, overly negative and affects your happiness. But you may also have a problem, or you may also have baggage that makes you feel like your gender is a problem for you or for other people or whatever, that it's a hassle to be a man if you're a man, or it's a hassle to be a woman if you're a woman, or or even maybe you are somebody who doesn't really like gender labels, and so maybe other people's perception of gender is in your space, and that's a problem. So whatever. So I just want to add that as, because physical body, tends to have sexuality with it, like a gender. But there's a genetic gender, but then some people, it's not their chosen gender. So this is a time when you could clear baggage around that, or like, say if you just have, like me, genetically I'm female, and that is the identity that I choose to have as well. But, people have real different perceptions of what a woman, for example, my age should be doing in life. Should I have had kids? Should I be acting this way or dressing this way or whatever, so the whole gender idea with the physical body, what people perceive your gender as, or what societal rules are for your gender, there's all sorts of stuff. So it's a good opportunity to just get all that muck out of the way, so you can just be yourself in whatever way that you choose to be, and not be so weighed down by, and it could be your own, negative perceptions of gender or a physical body, and all the responsibility and care. So I hope that makes sense. So we'll just clear shit in the way of you enjoying your life. So I'm tired of the gold blanket. You could still use it if you want. I'm going to make like a big gold dumpster. And you can pile into it baggage, and it could be other people's baggage in your space, or it could be your baggage from this and past lives. But pile into it baggage, in your space, just shit in your space about, negative stuff about having a physical body. Like boo-hoo, it's such a hassle, or boo-hoo, this or that, or, whatever. Or just the gender stuff, maybe you have other people's perceptions in your space about, how you should act based on the gender they perceive for you, or your own perceptions. Maybe you have baggage. Maybe you've had negative experiences based on, a certain gender, having a certain gender. And so just put all that baggage out in front of you, gender related baggage, body related baggage. And obviously that could be a lot of stuff. So definitely going to ask the angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Right? And then let your angels sort through it. So they will remove whatever's too much to clear right now, which is important. Deep breath while your angels do that. So then you can also ask your angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this stuff? Because sometimes invasive energies, use baggage to just make trouble. So you're asking your angels to recycle any invasive beings hooked into all that baggage. So then now you can just use lots of gold light, melt cords from people going into the baggage, melt everybody's energy out of the baggage, melt your own energy out. And then you can just, you could blow it all up, or just keep melting it fully with gold light till it's all gone. If there's any left over, you can wrap it up in gold light. Say, angels, can you help me with all that? So again, you can make another big gold dumpster out in front of you and pile into it any baggage that you have in your space, whether it's yours or somebody else's, whether it's from this life or the past life. Any baggage around gender or physical bodies, and making you think of them overly negatively, like as a burden or as a problem. And just pile all that baggage out in front of you. Say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Another deep breath. So then you can go ahead and melt cords from people going into this baggage and melt all the baggage. Gold light from your hands. Everybody out. And if there's any left over, you can blow it all up. And if there's any left over still, you can wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? All right, good job, good job. And we'll do butterflies again because looks like they make sense in the rainforest. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to clear RAD blocks. RAD stands for resistance, avoidance, and denial blocks that affect your perception and your actions relating to your physical body, food, fitness, and face, which is the theme that we're working. I was looking at a sample person, and she's younger. She's 19, and she's this guy's daughter. He pays for her healings. How cute is that? And a dad that pays for you to get energy healing, like, how cool is that? But anyway, so but she has these goals around exercise, but it's like they're kind of far off. Like it's like there's all this procrastination, and like avoidance that keeps the goals sort of like in future, not in today. So let's clear all that shit. So you're more likely to have some fitness goals for today and action today. Okay. So we did a gold blanket. We did gold dumpsters. What's a fun way to clear bugs? Oh, that could be nice. Okay, so just imagine a mini you with, you know, all your auras, and you're in there, your physical body and your astral body are in there, and then both your groundings, right? And just see any rad blocks that you've been avoiding. Where are they? Maybe they're in the back of your auras, maybe they're in the back of your grounding, maybe they're in the back of your chakras along your spine, wherever. Like you could just see them as like little dots everywhere, all the avoidance, resistance, avoidance, denial blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. And then just move them all out at once. So a whole bunch of like, you know, tiles or bricks or dots or rocks, you know, a bunch of blocks, move them out. And then you can just use so much gold light that they just melt away. Okay, so imagine a mini you, and imagine all your resistance, avoidance, denial blocks in your space that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. And just use gold light and move all those blocks out at once. And then you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you recycle them? And then melt people out of the blocks and melt them all away. So let's do that one more time. Imagine your everything. So all your auras are around you, all your 17 auras, and both your groundings and your physical body and your astral body are inside there. And just imagine all your resistance, avoidance, and denial blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, that affect you regarding, you know, resistance, avoidance, and denial that impacts your healthy actions relating to food, fitness, and face, and healthy attitudes. What rad blocks are in the way? Just imagine the rad blocks, move them out, and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way, you know, hooked into this junk? And then use lots of gold light, melt everybody out, and melt the blocks, or blow them up. And then just comb through your everything. Unblock your grounding more. All right, good enough. All right, good job, good job. Okay, so now we're going to clear fear, judgment, and shame blocks in between you and your body, you and your physical body, because you are not your physical body. You are an eternal soul, and your physical body is really cool, and you have it for this life. Next life, you'll have a totally different body. And but you can have baggage that is yours that you bring through you know, from the last lifetime, if you didn't clear it, you bring it through to this life. And likewise, if you don't clear the baggage from this life, then you bring it through to the next life, right? So you could have baggage around a body, you know, like, for example, shame or fear between you and your body that's affecting, you know, how you perceive your body or how you perceive, you know, your safety of your body. That has to do with a totally different lifetime when you were in a different culture, a different time, maybe different gender, you know, whatever. Like, but it's your baggage in between you and your body. And it can be too, not even your baggage, but it's in your space. So it's easy to clear though. So let's do it. Oops. Okay, so we'll do big old blanket again. I'll do big old blanket again. So make a big old blanket out in front of you and pile onto it any fear in between you and your body, any judgment in between you and your body, any shame energy between you and your body. Just all the fear, judgment, and shame. Pile it out in front of you and just say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And that way your angels will sort through it. Take a deep breath while they do that. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Take a deep breath. All right. So then, you know it's healthy and gentle to clear now. So you can just use lots of gold light, wash everybody out, melt people's cords, and melt all. If you have any left over, you could blow it up. If there's any still left over after that, you can wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? Okay, so wiggle your butt. We're going to do it one more time. You can do it. You can do it. All right, so big gold blanket out in front of you. Pile onto it any fear, judgment, shame, baggage that is in between you and your physical body. It could be yours. It could be from your mom. It could be from your grandma. It could be from a past life, whatever. Right? And just angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? Breath. All right. So now whatever's left over is healthy and gentle to clear. So you can use gold light, melt everybody away, melt everyone out of it, melt their cords, and melt all the baggage. You can also blow it up. And if any is left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, good job, good job. I was just taking notes because I need to make an outline of the healing later and make video chapters later too. All right, so we've done most of what I wanted to do in this healing. There's just one thing that I still wanted to do. Shoulder Palooza. No, Shoulder Palooza just is, it's like a music festival. I forget what the real music festival is called, but it's something Palooza. I forget. Isn't that a Chicago music festival? Something Palooza? You can remind me if they want. But anyway, so we'll do a Shoulder Palooza and heal the shoulders. And we will do the shoulder meridians plus GV and UB meridian as well. Lollapalooza, thank you. All my Chicago clients. Lollapalooza. All right. So GV and UB meridians, which are, you know, up and down by the spine. And then the shoulder meridians that go through the shoulder. Sanjiao, small intestine, large intestine, and gallbladder meridian. Fun, fun, fun. Oops, I shouldn't have doing up there, should I? Okay. That's how come I... And later I have to call it doing for real. Okay. Let's get a good diagram though. That's a pretty nice. Although, as well go for one of the meridians. So one of the meridians we're doing is small intestine meridian. It starts in the pinky. But really, I'm just playing this video to get that awesome image right there. See all of it at once. Sorry, I'm screwing with the color. Okay, great. Now I'm happy. Oh, it's funny how happy that makes me. Okay, all right. So we're just going to improv all that stuff. And if you don't know those meridians, there is a 12 meridian playlist, which is linked in the info section of this live stream right now. And later as a video. It's in the info section. It'll say 12 meridian playlist. Has a video for each of these that we're going to be working, except for GV. GV goes up the midline of the back and around the head like a candy cane. So up, starts in the crotch, goes up the midline of the back, and hooks around, ends in the roof of the mouth, right? So that's the one we'll do first. You want to make sure it's like a nice flowy river. You want to see red flowiness. If you don't see red flowiness, it could be because it's blocked and, you know, maybe it's a little damaged somewhere. And so then somebody's energy is kind of wrapping around the whole thing. So just check for hard objects, pop out any hard objects. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? And you can go light and gashes that the hard objects made. You want that surface, you want the tube, the red tube of the meridian to be really flowy and red, sort of flexible, hardens. And then inside of it, you want only you and your body's energy at red. No invasive beings, no mom or dad or anything like that. Right? So just wash everybody out with lots of gold light. The angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with these? All right, so that's GV. And like I said, I had realized after, of course, the last healing, that GV helps a lot with the trapezius muscle not being quite as tight. The muscle that goes from like your shoulder area and your clavicle up to your spine, you know, so that's all this muscle right here. Those are your trapezius muscles. And so whether this is like relaxed and flowing can really help this part relax, which maybe doesn't seem so intuitive, but if you've ever gone to like a chiropractor and stuff, they'll explain to you that like the tension in the lower back can impact other parts of the back too, you know, like it's all interrelated. Anyway, so just be aware of that. Is your GV meridian like nice and flowy and unrestricted at the, you know, in your lower back area? And if not, just keep using gold light and red earth energy and just loosen it up. Take a couple. All right, and you can comb through your trapezius muscles with gold light and red earth energy. Bring up red earth energy. And just notice if there are any knots in your trapezius muscles. Just use extra gold light. You can pop out any hard objects that are in those areas. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this healing? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in contributing to these muscle knots? And pop out the hard objects and repair any gashes. Your trapezius muscles. Okay, UB, urinary bladder meridian. So that, I wonder if we could get it to. There we go. Okay. So the yellow line is the urinary bladder meridian. So it starts in the corner of the eye, inner corner of the eye, goes to the inner corner of the eyebrow, goes up to the hairline, goes over a little, and then goes back. Right. And then from 2 branches, it branches into 4 branches there at the base of the skull right there. So you see the 2 yellow lines, and then it branches into 4 yellow lines, which is cool. So, but just, you know, repair all that. You want it to be red and flowy. I mean, it's yellow in the diagram, but that's just all it apart from the other meridians. But energetically, they all should be at a red vibration, in my opinion. That's like the ideal vibration for your body meridians. So, but then as it goes down the back, like nice straight flowy branches. So just use gold light and red earth energy. Yeah, just let these urinary bladder meridian branches relax and flow nicely. The lower back part is very cool too. There's like a little zigzag N shape by the lower back, upper butt. But we can leave that alone for now, and just because we're doing shoulders technically. So I just want to, because the back around the spine helps with the shoulders, so helps with shoulder presence. So I just want to do certain parts of the urinary bladder meridian and urinary bladder meridian Wei Chi aura, through that Wei Chi aura that is supposed to nourish the urinary bladder meridian. So like you could imagine a profile like this and just comb outward, and you can comb through your governing vessel meridian Wei Chi aura and just look for any blocks, melt them away. Blocks in your urinary bladder meridian Wei Chi aura. And like I said in the intro, the Wei Chi aura goes all around, but for some reason, so the whole aura is important. Like the whole urinary bladder meridian Wei Chi aura is important, even the part that goes under your feet. But I guess if people are trying to screw with your meridians, they'll aim right for that part of the Wei Chi aura that is around the meridian. So, your urinary bladder meridian Wei Chi aura, your urinary bladder meridian, it's going down this way. So this part of your urinary bladder meridian Wei Chi aura is very important. The part that's immediately closest to the meridian. Anyway, just comb through, unblock. Of course, repair if there are any gashes. But we already did or repair, so there's maybe no gashes. You can just unblock. There is a gash. It could be because, especially if you've already done oral repair and there's still a gash, it's probably because there's one or several invasive beings that are kind of like hogging up the space, preventing the gold light from penetrating and doing the repair properly. You just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? And then use gold light and let it grow back. Let your aura grow back. Okay, so now the actual obvious shoulder meridians, which are the ones that go through the shoulder. Sanjiao, small, which I list here, Sanjiao, SJ, small intestine is SI, large intestine is LI, and GB. Sanjiao, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, right? So Sanjiao, I'm kind of in love with currently, because I spent a bunch of time the other day feeling the part of the Sanjiao meridian that is on the top of the shoulder. And it felt good. Felt good to do. I'm going to highlight that part. So that part is right up here, there and there. So in the past, I've called that part the shoulder bridge. So I'll keep calling it that. But then see, that's the end of Sanjiao meridian, right? So it starts in the pinky. No, it starts in the fourth finger. I forget these things. Starts in the fourth finger. And it's that turquoise line in the diagram. And it goes up through the back of your wrist, and it goes through your elbow, and then right there, bam, bam, right there. So those 2 points especially, I like really enjoy healing those, and it felt very nice. So let's extra do that. And of course, that's the part that goes through the shoulder. So we're healing shoulders right now. So so that is Sanjiao 14 and 15. So it numbers. So the first point is Sanjiao 1, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 14, 15. So it's that turquoise line that you're seeing, right? So just. So imagine a copy out in front of you of your shoulders, and specifically Sanjiao 14 and 15. And just, do both you can do one at a time. Like if you have if one shoulder is way more tense than the other, you might want to just look at that one shoulder, but you could also do both of them at the same time. Kind of interesting, because sometimes you'll have a person or an invasive being that's kind of messing with both of them at once. So that might be helpful to work them both at the same time. You can say, Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair, or recycle any invasive beings messing with this meridian? So again, and on the diagram, it's a pretty turquoise, but in reality, it ideally would be a red flowy energy. Check it. See black, if you see silver, if you see white, it's probably somebody else's energy or an invasive being, so you can have it recycled. And you can have, definitely you can have hard objects stuck in these energy centers or along the meridian. You can pop all that out and repair. Okay, so you can always do more of that later. So large. Well, Sanjiao was the first one that we did. So let's do small intestine meridian. That is, we didn't do small intestine meridian. I played the video and then I talked about gallbladder. Sorry about that. Now we will actually do the small. So as the video goes, you can check your points of the small intestine meridian that are being shown right there. The brown line, that's the small intestine meridian. So the points I want to emphasize are there. Okay, those points. I'm gonna call, I don't know what I called that before, but maybe I'll call it like the handlebar area. It's like that flat line. There's the zigzag, and right after the zigzag, there's like a straight line of 3 points. So that's small intestine 13, 14, and 15. And small intestine 14, the middle one there, 13, 14, 15, right? So 14 in the middle is like good for like a billion different things in your body. And, whatever, it connects with this meridian helps you with like 5,000 things. But I like working all 3 points together and just, making sure each of those 3 energy centers are happy. But according to the little reference that I have, 14 is like a real biggie. Biggie as in important. So you can do the whole meridian, but especially that little handlebar area, small intestine 13, 14. And of course, the small intestine meridian, Wei Chi aura, in that whole area. So around your arms, around your fingers, around your shoulders. Unblock it. If it's damaged, if it's ripped, of course, repair it. Say, Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of the repair? And use so much gold light that it grows back. But say it's not ripped up, it's just got big blocks. That's okay. You can melt those. Say, Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? Right? That's some small intestine stuff. Large intestine is another one that starts in the finger. So large intestine starts in the index finger. Right there. So as the video is going, you can check yours, see if yours is generating enough energy, has enough flow. And I especially want to highlight these points that it just went through. So it goes through the nose, and that diagram is slightly wrong, which I like to point out just so I'm not misinforming people. It's supposed to go, in reality, it crisscrosses under the nose and goes like that, unlike what so it goes up and crisscrosses like that and ends like that. So it's just a tiny little inaccuracy in the video. I didn't make the video, but they're awesome. So so it starts in the index finger, goes up the arm, and then the part around the shoulder I want to do like there. So it's super clear with that video. Maybe it is clear enough, I guess. But there are 2 points on the shoulder, like around the shoulder joint right there. And then it goes up to the neck. And there are 2 points on the neck right there. And then it goes, around the nose like that, right? So there's 2 points on the shoulder, 2 points on the neck, and then around the nostrils, right? So especially the shoulders, check those. Make sure they're nice and red and flowy. If they're not, use a lot of gold light. You can bring up red earth energy. So again, this is the large intestine meridian, just the points that are going through the shoulder. And then the 2 points that are going, large intestine meridian going through the neck. There, we just showed you, right? So it's going to go through the neck right now. 1, 2. So I'll go up to those points again. So 1, 2, and then the neck, 1, 2, right? So 1, 2 through the shoulder, and then 1, 2 up the neck. They're not numbered 1, 2, but I just pointing out that there are 2 that go through the shoulder and 2 that go up the neck. And then the Wei Chi aura, the large intestinal Wei Chi aura around those points. You just check it out. A lot of people have really heavy blocks in that part of the Wei Chi aura, like right around here in the large intestine meridian Wei Chi aura. Heavy, heavy, heavy blocks. So just melt them away. Gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way, can you recycle them? Oh, it's a heaviness right there. Large intestine meridian, the 2 points going through the shoulders and the 2 points going through the neck. Whole route. So you can have like hard objects that got thrown in there, like some that are like skinny, like razor blades, and some that are like stabby, kind of like, like a spear type idea. But you can pop them all out and just seal it up with gold light. Angels, if there are any beings in the way, can you recycle them? And just comb, your large intestine meridian Wei Chi aura, especially around those points. Couple deep breaths. Maybe a little bit of shoulder stretching. Okay. And then gallbladder meridian Wei Chi aura. So that is one that starts in the on the face, on the head. If I can find it. cool little video for it. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it starts at the corner of the eye. It goes up to the hairline, along the hairline, does a wide arc around the ear, and then it goes up to the forehead. All the way up to the forehead. And then it goes back and through the base of skull area. That's why we heal it in the base of skull area. And then it goes through the shoulder and down the side of the body. Okay. So we can do a little bit of it here, but we probably won't do much beyond here, but it is kind of cool. So it goes down the side of the body, and all those points help with a billion different things. But apparently one of the things that your gallbladder meridian helps with is self-assertiveness, which who doesn't need more of that? Well, maybe somebody doesn't need more, but okay. And so this is one of the ones that you can heal for headaches, head tension. So as the video goes through, just, check it out. I'll probably stop the video because it's a nice angle, nice perspective. So just starts in the outside of the eye, goes to the ear, goes up hairline, does a wide arc around the ear, then goes up to the forehead. Energy center in the forehead, like right around here, goes up to here, and then it goes back. One on the forehead, and then it goes back through the base of skull area, gallbladder meridian. And then it goes, you see it right there, that teal green line. There is a point sitting right there on the shoulder. Don't miss that one. Oh, well. So for some people, it's like a hard black stone. That energy center is supposed to be cylinder shaped and red and flowy. But for some people, it looks like a piece of coal. So hard and stuck. So just be nice to it. Lots of gold light, red earth energy. You say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this thing, this energy center? And just be patient. Melt away the baggage. You can make an extra red grounding just for that energy center, that gallbladder meridian chakra that is sitting right in the shoulder. Bring up red earth energy just into that energy center. Gold light. And your Wei Chi aura's around there. So like it goes a lot in the side of the head, right? But then it goes here briefly and then it goes around the side. So obviously the whole Wei Chi aura matters, but the part of it immediately around the meridian is extra. So use gold light. Of course, check to see if it's ripped up and missing, but if it's there and it's whole, then just unblock it with lots of gold. So again, that point right there, the gallbladder meridian point that's sitting right on your shoulder. Check that one out. See if it's flowing and spinning, generating energy. And for context, if half the energy in that energy center is yours, you're probably above average as far as like an adult in modern stressed out culture. In the US at least. So just keep using gold light, and it should be only you in that energy center. So melt everything else out. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this energy center? All right, good enough for now. So just take a couple deep breaths and be in your shoulders. See how well your shoulders, your spirit body, your astral body shoulders fit into your physical body shoulders. Does one shoulder fit better than the other? Feel your presence in your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, spine, your legs. We can do, let's see. I want to get a good view. There we go. Okay. So we could do we can do healing energy flowers just to finish up the shoulder healing section. So make energy healing flowers, as many as you want, as many as you need, out of universal healing energy. It could be gold light, rainbow colors, or both. And just set it to the vibration that's going to be the most healing and nourishing and uplifting and protective for your shoulders. And then say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to your shoulders. And your auras around your shoulders. Make more flowers for your shoulders and all the auras that are supposed to protect your shoulders. Tune them to the right vibration. Say, angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to your shoulders and the meridian, the auras around your shoulders. One more time, shoulder flowers. As many as you need. Tune them to the right vibration. Angels, can you check my shoulder flowers? And then give them to you. All right. And then you can view yourself on your spiritual path and do it like a before and after. So, so look at, so your spiritual path is just for you, and it represents what you're meant to learn and experience in this lifetime. And if you're moving forward, that represents you're making progress, right? And but you could also be like lost on a side path, or you could be kind of like on your path, but you're not facing forward. You're kind of like sitting on a bench, a little overwhelmed. So those are the possibilities. Or you could be like moving forward, but like around the side of the path where it's bumpier and there are a bunch of weeds. So it's like you're doing it the hard way. So look at, how are you right now on your path? Are you moving forward? Are you on your path? Are you looking forward? And then look at, do a different version of it and look at how you were before we did the shoulder work. So like a half hour ago or however long it took, 20 minutes ago? Before the shoulder work, were you on your path? Were you moving forward? And now, how are you after the shoulder work? And is there any difference in how you look before shoulder work and after shoulder work? All righty. Good job, good job, good job. Yay. Yay for shoulder work. Thumbs up for shoulder work. All righty, let's see. Change my colors back. All righty. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the healing just in these last few minutes. So just imagine a copy of yourself out in front of you. All your 17 auras, your physical body and your astral body are inside there, and both your groundings going all the way down to the core of the earth. Make sure both your groundings are wide as all your auras. Comb through your groundings with gold light from your hands. Wash out all the energy blocks so that you have a nice strong downward flow going down your grounding. Check, unblock the bottom part of all your auras as they go around your legs and below your feet. Make sure all your auras are flowing really well so that you can release down your grounding more easily. You're unblocking your auras around your ankles, around your knees, and especially beneath your feet. And above your head. Now, we've talked about this a bunch. The receiving zones, your auras are receiving. Well, they do a lot of things. They protect you, but they also are receiving zones. So you bring in your new energy through all these parts of your auras if they're repaired and unblocked enough. So just unblock above your head, all your auras above your head, all your auras above your shoulders, all your auras in front of your chest, your auras in front of your belly, around your legs, auras behind your legs, behind your lower back, unblock. And your back, your lower back, your upper back, unblock your auras behind your back. Unblock your auras behind your neck and your head and your shoulders. You may have some blocks back here that kind of make you dread certain things. So go ahead and melt those blocks so you don't have to keep dreading things. So melt blocks behind your head, behind your shoulders, behind your neck. A lot more efficient than just trying not to think about something. Just melt it away so it's not cluttering up your brain anymore. So just comb through everywhere and just melt away the clutter. All right, STEBs is STEB stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks. Those are blocks that are still triggered. They haven't cleared yet, even though we've been working for so long. So just pile all the blocks out in front of you and use gold light and bring up red earth energy. Soak them all in red earth energy. Use gold light. You can say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all these right now? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Melt the cords and melt the block. One more time, put a pile, all the blocks that are still bothering you on any level, make a pile out in front of you. Angels, can you recycle any beings hooked into this stuff? Angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And then just get everybody out of the piles. Use gold light, melt cords, melt the blocks. Wrap up any leftovers in gold light. Say, angels, can you help me with these? Alrighty. Good job, good job, good job. So that is the healing, and you are an official energy healing rock star, even if you just did a teeny weeny bit of that. So good job, good job, good job. Woohoo! All right. So now we'll take a break, and we'll take a bathroom break and a little stretch break. And then we'll do like maybe just a half hour of comments about how the healing was for you, if you want. So let's see. So I'll get rid of the camera while I'm gone so you can watch the beach, and I'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm back. So, I'm just going to do stretching for a minute, and I am not a stretching expert, and everybody's body is different. So, if you want, you could stretch now. Stretching is, in general, healthy, but try to be as gentle as needed for your body. But it'll just be for a minute. Hello. Right. There. All righty. I'm back. Hope you had a good break. I had a good break. Okay. So, this has been going on for quite a while already. So, we'll see how many comments I can get to, but I will try to prioritize if I see a newbie comment, somebody that I've never said hi to before. I will skip to theirs first, and I'll backtrack. I love newbies. I love my veterans too, of course, but I love newbies. Let's see. Any newbies? I'm looking for newbies first. Newbies first. New rule for today only. Well, maybe for tomorrow too. Maybe for next time. Let's see. Any newbies? Newbies. I have one newbie. My one newbie says hello. Hello to you, newbie. I think you're a newbie. I don't recognize your YouTube name. You just say hello. Well, hello back to you. You're very welcome here. Okay, so backtracking to the non-newbie comments. I love you guys too. So some of them I've read already. Let's see. Okay, so after my little Portland frog emoji, someone says, "Hi Janet, thanks for the healing. You are welcome. I've been super motivated to work out this month. Ooh, and actually joined the gym, going very often. Wow. Good for you. That's impressive." All right. Somebody says, "Hi, joining 45 minutes in." Oh, to the live stream. It's raining and about mid-40s in Southwest Michigan. Raining in mid-40s. I guess could be worse, right? Rain is good for the trees. Someone says, "Hi from Muckamore," which is in Northern Ireland. Fun fact. Muckamore, Northern Ireland. It's a great name, Muckamore. I like that. Muckamore. Is muckamore muddy? Because muck, I would think makes me think of mud. So let me know if muckamore gets muddy or not. What is muckamore known for? How about that? Can you share with us a fun fact about muckamore, Northern Ireland? Someone says, hi, Janet. Looking forward to this healing. My energy got destroyed this week. Ooh, sorry about that. But you're good at self-healing, so I bet you fixed yourself at some point. Someone, thank you for the reminder that the festival in Chicago I was thinking of is Lollapalooza. I've never been to Lollapalooza. Maybe if I had been, then I would have remembered what it was called, but maybe not. My memory is not really like a normal person's memory. All I have is like psychic stuff. I don't have like memory. I mean, I do have some memory, but it's really weird. Like I'll remember some things and a lot I won't remember, but like kind of bizarre the stuff I remember. But anyway, Lollapalooza, there you go. Music festival in Chicago. So it says, I became emotional during the Clear Fear Judgment section because I saw how I've been living in a fantasy world that was a painful realization. Also, how is my mom liking the healing? Yeah. Speaking of fear and judgment, blocking your appreciation of your body. Yeah. So, well, I mean, that seems like a good cathartic thing with the clearing the fear and the judgment that you realize, wow, holy shit, there's a lot there. So that is something you could definitely do more of, obviously, on your own, just, healthy and gentle amounts. But that could be like a little daily vitamin, clear more fear and judgment between you and your body. Fear, judgment, and shame. Don't forget the shame one, though. That's always good to clear. So speaking of fear, judgment, and shame, your mother, she does like the healing. She does not like me mentioning her in conjunction with fear, judgment, and shame, though. She's not amused by that. Because that's rude. But she does accept my apology. Funny. She says her favorite part of the healing was the crossroads part. Because she says that she didn't realize that in each month there are like a couple different little mini crossroads, like different decisions that she has to make. And that, she didn't realize that life has so many crossroads. She thought it was just, one every decade. But she's like, oh, you can think of the little decisions that you make and the little choices that you make and clear baggage around them so you make better choices. Yeah, that's true. Points for your mom. Little pearls of wisdom from your mother on a telepathic level. How about that? Someone says, thanks, Janet. Feeling better in terms of mood and feeling more uplifted. Oh, that's nice. After your hard week. That's great. This week felt super defected. Oh, you felt super defected and victimy. My self-assessment is that a current person I work with has singled me out and destroyed my energy this week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, and especially my fourth chakra and fourth layer. Sense hate vibes, not sure why accurate. How did your spouse do? Well, it would have been interesting if you had told me the initials of that coworker, of course. Current person you work with. Is that why? Let's see. On Monday, you were going strong. Tuesday, yeah, you did sort of get stopped in your tracks on Tuesday and Wednesday. You and many people that do this kind of work I think it's just you though. I don't think it's like this style of energy work, but I do have a lot of clients like this, like you, where it's like when you say hello to somebody, you're very like upfront with the person, you know, and for a lot of people, that's uncomfortable for them. A lot of people have self-acceptance issues, fear issues, shame issues. They have a lot of facades, so they don't really like people seeing the way they really are. They like sort of putting forward this polished, more acceptable image of themselves. And so if you're that upfront with them and that like clear-eyed with them, it's very disturbing to them. They feel very vulnerable and almost like overwhelmed by just your observation of them because you're looking at them too much. So I would say it looks like that's what happened with this coworker. So if you could try to do a park bench thing with that person and, you know, park bench orientation. So you're both sitting on a park bench as if, you know, and just like if you have to meet with them, you know, maybe try to avoid the whole, you know, you're staring at them in close range, you know, just like look at a PowerPoint presentation or look at your clipboard together or, you know, like try not to be like eyeball to eyeball with this person. It, you know, like have the body angles different because it looks like it's just you're very upfront and this person, that's very triggering for them, and so then they take it out on you subconsciously. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I think it is that person you have in mind from your work, and they just whacked you a lot. Kind of a very frontal attack. I mean, like back left and front right. Kind of thorough. Guess they got really triggered. So the hate vibe and all that, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like if they're doing it because you're a woman or something. I don't know what you mean by the hate vibes. I would just say, you know, they got triggered. So you could do park bench communication with them in the future. But your spouse, he did well. His angels are happy about it. His angels like the take back the dreams and goals one because some of his exes took back some of his dreams and goals relating to body stuff, like being adventurous and, you know, health goals, fitness goals, all sorts of body related, life enjoyment, body related goals. Some of his exes walked off with some of those goals. So he took back a bunch today. So that was his favorite part. Alrighty. Someone says, thank you, Jenna. I feel so much better. Oh, that's nice. The crossroads baggage was my favorite part. Yes. Thank you for your surveys. People that write surveys are more likely to be sample people in future healings because I read everybody's energy that does a survey. I sort of double check, like, okay, are they a sample person for me to look at for the next healing? You know, so it's not impossible to be a sample person just by being, you know, a person that's getting these healings. Maybe a third of the sample people did not have surveys filled out that I, you know, looked at to figure out today's healing. But yeah, filling out surveys helps me. But anyway, you're saying feel so much better. The crossroads baggage was my favorite part. Yes, and that's because it was something that you needed that I saw when you were a sample person. When I was designing the healing. Before this, my self-assessment was that my sister was holding back my clarity on the right jobs to apply for. But yes, but now it seems like a crossroads baggage issue. Yes, you're right. I do think that my sister was really messing with my sound boundaries and creative rings. Yeah, I mean, like people can waltz in, you know, and kind of be in your face about something, and then you think it's all them, but deep down, you were stuck on something else, which allowed them to waltz in, but they're just so obvious that it's like it makes it seem like it was really just them. But the underlying issue was crossroads baggage, yes. The root issue, we would say, or the what really caused the brain freeze was crossroads baggage. So you could keep doing that for like a week or so, maybe. Just healthy and gentle amounts, but keep working that crossroads baggage. Yes, she was messing with your space as well. She was actually a sample person as well in this healing, because I was looking at that your mother took some of her dreams and goals for her body, and in other types of dreams and goals that she has. And so that's part of why she tries to take your dreams and goals or hate on your dreams and goals as you're working towards yours, is because she doesn't have hers. And so it like really trips her up. So she tries to kind of seal yours. So she gets these healings too. You pay for that. And so she was a sample person, one of the sample people for one of the primary sample people actually for that thing about taking back your own dreams and goals. So she got goals back that your mom had taken from her. So maybe that'll help make her less invasive with you. It'll definitely help her, but hopefully it'll make her a little less invasive with you. Someone says, "Hi, Janet. Thank you for this healing. I have been checking in with my angels about a guy I'm dating." And you put his initials. Thank you. The angels seem to still really like him. Yes, that's true. But I've had anxiety about the relationship. And then you have another comment, which I have to scroll to see. And then, of course, I lose my place after I scroll. I've had anxiety about the relationship, but it also feels like my sister has been in my space. So the anxiety could be related to that. See, I love when people become better at reading themselves. It's like, it's easier for me, but then it's like, it's kind of gratifying. It's like, wow, good call. Yeah. So yeah, good job. I mean, it's great that it clicks with you that, I mean, it's great in theory to know, okay, well, you could be feeling anxiety that's not yours. But like in practice, when you're actively worrying about some part of your life, to recall that knowledge and be like, wait a minute, this anxiety that I'm feeling right now about this life issue, is that someone else's anxiety in my space? Or is that, my reaction to feeling somebody in my space? Because that's super common. Like your mom could jump in your lap. Well, not your mom, but like your dad or your sister could jump into your lap, and then it blocks up your first chakra and your first layer, and now you feel anxiety, and that's a kind of a milestone that, you could be currently feeling anxiety and still put two and two together. Like, wait a minute, why am I feeling that anxiety? So yeah, I think you're definitely accurate. Now, if your sister weren't in your space, would you be anxious about that relationship? No, I don't think so. I think you'd be figuring out what you want to do on the weekend with that person. I think it'd be a lot easier for you to just be in the moment and enjoy the journey. If you clear your sister out. I think with your sister, she doesn't want to be the single one. I'm thinking that she's single. I don't recall exactly, but I think she's single. And I think she likes it if you're single. If you're like more single than she is. Like she somehow wants you to be the one that's less socially skilled than she is, and she equates, if you have a partner, to being more socially skilled. So she doesn't want to be single if you're not single. You know what I mean? So she gets triggered when you're dating and enjoying your love life, because part of her is very competitive with you, and she wants to feel like her life is that she's got her shit together more than you do, because she already knows that she thinks that you're better than her in certain ways, like career wise. So she wants to be better than you socially. Kind of a complex head game she's playing with herself, but it's not your problem. You can just clear her out. But yeah, so good read. Someone says, thank you so much. I feel like I released a bunch of personal stuff, but now I see all this overwhelming mom baggage in front of my face. I feel like I know the steps I need to do, but finding the motivation to heal myself hasn't been there lately. I feel pretty annoyed, mad at myself. I think my angels want me to ask myself how I am feeling every hour or so to help center. Thank you. I think they do like the every hour thing, but I think it's more like, yeah, I think because if you're not acknowledging how you feel, then you tend to like repress too much and like pop out too much. And then you get really, really blocked. But I think every hour, it could be something simple, like just send a little gold light to the front of your heart chakra. Like pick one chakra and just send a little gold light there. Or redo your grounding. Pick like one little 10-second thing, like some gold flowers for your heart chakra. Okay, fine. How do I feel? I'm pissed. Okay. And then my one, so a check in with how you feel and then an action. Okay. So check out that you feel. I feel pissed, frustrated, and tired. Okay. One action is I'm going to make some healing flowers. Angels check them. Give them to my heart chakra. I'm done. I'm a rock star. So, keep it simple, quick and simple like that. I think you have this impression, maybe you're comparing them to these, marathon epic 3-hour group healings that I'm doing, and you're thinking that you should be doing self-healing at that, extent for yourself every day, which I don't think that's what many people would like to do. I mean, if anything, I'm probably doing too much in a healing. I'm not going beyond what's healthy and gentle, but I'm kind of probably overgiving it as a healer. It's maybe not necessary to heal as much as I do in a healing, even if I'm being paid as a pro healer. So as a self healer, as a busy mom, obviously you can downscale. Being pissed at yourself, that's not very nice. I think when you're pissed at yourself, maybe your husband's in your space. Because I think if he's not in your space, you're a little more calm and quiet and a little more peaceful. So yeah, remember that invasive people room exercise, melt floor. It's kind of a complex title, but it was an easy exercise. It was invasive people room melt floor. The 3-minute video in my short video playlist. You could do that one. Just like imagine a room and all of the people that are in your space are visible in this room, and then the floor represents all your baggage that keeps them in your space or allows them to be in your space, and then just melt the floor away with gold light so that the room dissolves, everyone pops out of your space. All right. So yeah, give yourself hugs. Don't be pissed at yourself. It's not gonna help. Right? So just give yourself a little kiss or something. Right? Okay. Then my newbie said hello to you. So this is my favorite shoulder work, the connection between the lower and upper back. Yeah, isn't that interesting? With the GV especially, I noticed that. Like GV, if you have tension in the lower part of your GV meridian, it can really contribute to trapezius muscle tightness, which was like a fun little discovery. So I'm glad you like that. I felt more flow when seeing the before and after of the shoulder work, like you on your path before and after. Yeah. I had a heated argument with hubby before healing related to younger son. Yeah, you mentioned that you mentioned the incident in your survey, not the argument. Hubby was so rude, controlling, bullying on how is the main income earner and we should do as he pleased. Ha ha ha. I melted chords, noticed his mom was in his space. I have not interacted with him after the thing, but I feel relaxed. Yeah, I looked at, I mean, I don't know, you know, what happened between him and your son, but it looked like there was this range of behavior that your son was acting like was okay. And what was like legitimate behind his outbursts with your son was that he was correcting your son to let him know that, no, this is the range of acceptable behavior. It's not this. Like your son was kind of like, there was a level of behavior that wasn't actually healthy for him. And so the correction was done in a very rough manner, but it seems like the message was received psychically, like, okay, that's not allowed. This is what's allowed, you know? So most likely could have been delivered in a different way, but there did seem to be some level of like spiritual purpose behind the thing between your husband and your son. But I don't know the conscious level specifics, of course. So anyway, he seems fine. You seem okay. Both your sons seem fine. Lost my place, of course. Yeah, so there's not really a question there, but hopefully my observations are helpful regarding that. This says, thanks, Janet, for your help. You're welcome. Can you check the back of my neck area? Seems to be still something there, like intrusives, like invasive beings, or a cord. Also seems linked to my second chakra. Thanks again. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I do know who you are. You often talk about back here. And you know, one chord, I wouldn't look for just one chord. I mean, because I don't know, it's just so easy to have so much stuff going on. I would look at like, okay, all the auras, are they all whole back here? So like governing vessel, meridian, Weiqi aura, urinary bladder, meridian, Weiqi aura, Sanjiao, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder. So all the auras are whole back here, all the most relevant auras. We look at you know, the meridians themselves. GV gets a little tight around the base of skull area and just below the base of skull area. Urinary bladder meridian gets a little tight in that area that I'm showing right there. Base of skull area, urinary bladder meridian is a little tight. And then when it goes from 2 to 4 branches, it's a little tight there. Governing vessel meridian, not as tight there. I would say that's good enough. Governing vessel. Sanjiao, as it goes up, it's good enough. Small intestine meridian, as it goes up your side of your body, that is a little, I would say that's a little too tight. What was that one? Small intestine meridian. So if we go all the way up on that, starts in the pinky, of course. Well, not of course, I always forget. Small intestine meridian goes through the elbow, all that glorious zigzag, which I'm in love with. And then the little handlebar area. So your handlebar area is really tight there. really tight. And then the neck points are really tight. So that looks like the most obvious one that wasn't quite right. So you could, the zigzag area is not as bad. It's just the 13, 14, 15, small intestine 13, 14, 15. And then as it goes to the 2 neck points, that it's just really tight. And you have blocks there too. Like, so I would work that more. This unblock your small intestine meridian, Wei Chi aura around the handlebar area, that straight line, and then as it 2 neck points. Is it 2 neck points? Let's refresh my memory. Oh no, it's just 1 neck point. No, yeah, it is kind of 2. There's one at the, yeah, those are 2 neck points. So yeah, that's all super tight, even at the cheek and the ear. So yeah, the whole small intestine meridian starting at that handlebar area, 13, 14, 15, flat part right after the zigzag. So I would work that a lot more and just unblock the auras and or the meridian. You could unblock your small intestine meridian just as a river, you know, also. And it's like it's like flow, and then it's like really tight. So just keep working that, you know, keep washing it out with gold light, expanding it, letting it relax. So what were you saying? Yeah, like 1 chord. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, 1 being, 1 chord, you know, that I wouldn't chase out, you know, every goddamn single being. Just look at the flow, look at, you know, if the meridians are there, everything's unblocked enough, you have really great flow, then okay, sure, you have 1 or 2 beings. Who the frick cares? You know, you get them out then at that point pretty easily. I would focus on the meridians, not being like, oh, there's 1 being, you know. But, you know, are there a couple beings? Yeah, sure. Are there being tunnels? That's more interesting. Yeah, I would say look for, yeah, there are a couple of being tunnels, and those are kind of more of a nuisance because multiple beings can come in through a being tunnel. So if you look at like your small intestine meridian Wei Chi aura around that handlebar area, there's a couple tunnels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 around the neck. So there's, I would say there's 6 being tunnels. So the angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that have come through these being tunnels so that all the beings get recycled? And then angels, can you recycle the being tunnels and seal everything up? So then there's no more, you know, little open pipelines for beings area, because that could be why too you feel like, oh my god, it's just never ending, the amount of invasive beings in there. You know, just double check for being and, you know, get rid of more of those. But you have a couple being tunnels in your GV meridian Wei Chi aura, like along, like right around here. There's like 1, 2, 3. So you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that have come through these tunnels? And then can you recycle the tunnels and seal everything up? So that's something you can do. Like invasive being tunneled, it feels like a sort of like a vacuum tube, you know, like if you're vacuuming, you know, and there's the tube and it's like, you know, you can kind of feel like a bunch of commotion right there, you know, at the exit part of the tunnel that, you know, beings can pass through in your space. Anyway, recycling being tunnels is a good thing. You have the angels do it for you, but you recycle the beings. They recycle the beings that came through the tunnel, and then they recycle the tunnels and seal up. But anyway, you're saying it seems linked to your 2nd chakra. And I would say maybe it's linked to governing vessel, lower part of your governing vessel meridian and your urinary bladder meridians by your 2nd chakra. I don't think it's technically linked to your 2nd chakra, but because if you also have issues down there, then it's like, you know, it's like it's a little bit unprotected. So I would think you just have some damage to the lower part of your governing vessel meridian and the lower part of, you know, the urinary bladder meridian branches on there. The auras are okay now, but unblock the auras around where you feel the weirdness. Second chakra doesn't look damaged right now, but there's a lot of blocks though. But I would say it's more around the governing vessel meridian Wei Qi aura and the urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura around your lower back area. Hope that helps. But you look a lot more present, and you look like you're moving forward. You look like you clear more energy each day on a regular basis than you used to, you know, even just subconsciously. Look like you're more in your legs, you're more like able to see things clearly versus kind of like marinating in your baggage. Oh, good job. Someone says, I feel better. A bit more work needed around forehead. I removed the trees with roots from my head. Yeah. The good karma in the good karma window section, the base of skull, good karma window section I talked about when you remove people and or invasive beings that have woven in this way. It's like weeding where you pull the plant out, but you want to get the roots too. And so this invasive energy, people or beings they work their way in and then they anchor into one of your chakras, the little baby chakras here or the big ones. And so you want to get the roots and get the plant and just ease it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. But that's nice. I'm glad you did that. Had argument with father before healing. Still feel tight around eyes. So I'll heal the aura and 6th chakra. Yeah. Or also the urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura right there. Because urinary bladder meridian is, you know, right there. That's where it starts. I mean, if you look at the meridians in that area, you know, if you feel kind of weird right there after the argument with your dad, you know, you check for damage in any of your auras right there, you know, and the one, you know, if there's a meridian there, then check that Wei Qi aura first. So that one right there is urinary bladder meridian, the yellow line right there. So first check the well, it doesn't matter first, but that's what I would do. I would look at the urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura, and it looks like that still does have a whack right there. It looks like, because he got a hard object in there, like this big stone spear thing. So you got to ease out the stone spear thing, give it to your angels, and say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? And then use lots of gold light so that it can grow back. You know, and then get the gold mesh spheres repaired. That area that is more functional, like how you're used to having it there. And you could double check the other, you know, relevant areas like stomach meridian, you know, that green line right there. So you double check your stomach meridian, but that seems okay. So physical body aura, astral body aura seems fine. Governing vessel meridian, Wei Qi aura seems fine right there. So I think it was mostly the urinary bladder meridian, Wei Qi aura. Gotcha. But, you know, with your dad, you could do more, well, interesting. I think with your dad, being grounded around him is really important. Because I think he does this, it looks like martial arts with him. Like he'll try to knock you off your feet, like on a spirit level. Because he's very controlling and he wants you to do things his way, the way he wants, when he wants. And so you're more like, yeah, dude, I'm a grown woman now, so I'm not going to keep acting like I'm 8 years old around you anymore. I'm kind of tired of that. And like he hasn't quite accepted that. So he keeps challenging you on that fact that you're not 8 years old. And so I think the more like calm and grounded you are around him, that kind of blows his mind. It's like, because he's trying to get you to not be calm. Like, it really blows his mind if you decide for yourself, you do what you want, and you're calm about it. Like, then he's kind of like, well, fuck, I guess so. All right, fine. You know, like he doesn't play the games if you're calm and really grounded. But if you're like, if he tries to push on you and you try to push back, then you lose your center and you lose your grounding, and then, he gets you real good. So try to, be like a mountain, be a tree, think like biker shorts, legs, thighs, glute muscles, just be really like, be like a mountain, have your inner serenity and just say your piece and be yourself, because then that like blows his freaking mind. In a good way. He just kind of like, all right. He doesn't have any, it's a lot harder for him to control you then. Hope that helps. But healing the 6th chakra, yeah, I don't think that's it. I think it was just UB stuff. Someone says, hi, Janet. I already had time to sleep. Don't get what's happening here. Yeah, because it's pretty late for you, but very happy to catch you live. Thank you very much for the healing. You're welcome. Do I have boundary issues with mom right now? Not right now. Maybe when you wrote it, you did, but I think you wrote it a couple minutes ago. I feel anxious and overwhelmed. It looks like she's in my first layer and also my 3rd chakra, trying to get comforting. Is that accurate? I think when you wrote it, yes, that was accurate. But since you wrote it, I think you did like some kind of an earth energy thing and you cleared some blocks. And so now I think that she's in your space, but not as much. Like there's a little bit of like a good karma window access, just a little bit. Like good karma windows 3, 2, and 1 have like little cracks that she's worked her way in through. So you could just do some good karma window stuff. Repair to finish popping her out, but seems like you popped her out a lot since you read it. But yeah, so good job. Someone says, oh, the person that had the argument with the dad says, I have been feeling depressed today about the lack of achievements in my life. I think my parents were in my space before the argument and it triggered me extra. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your angels just keep saying, you can disagree with them, just do it from your center. Be centered, be grounded, and feel free to disagree with them. But kind of don't let them steal your center. Don't let them get you like flighty and ruffled, triggered. Just keep your flow, keep your grounding. Someone says, my sister is in a long-term relationship. Oh, interesting. But I think they might be pretty unhappy. Oh, it's because I said that she always wants to feel like she's more socially successful than you are. I think they might be pretty unhappy. That is very interesting about her competitive vibes, though. Thanks again. You're welcome. 4th chakra also, I think she's courting the front too. You're talking about your mother. Yeah, a little bit. But I think more in the back, good karma windows. The other person that I read about the back of the small intestine meridian stuff, small intestine meridian on shoulders and neck. You said about the back of neck and 2nd chakra. Oops, forgot name. Yes, that was what I thought. I thought you were that person. Thanks for your continued support. You're welcome. Someone says who might be a newbie. That's exciting. I can't seem to remove unless I don't know who you are. You can email me if you don't mind and just say who you are so I know who you are because I don't know who you are. Or you could put your first and last initials in the, because obviously I wouldn't see your email right now. You could just put your text chat, the initials of your first and last name. If you want, because that sometimes helps me see somebody better if I know their name or their initials at least. Can't seem to remove forced cords to the base of my neck. They keep sticking. Why do I feel less powerful to remove and not allow these cords? They feel very entitled. Well, typically that's because there's aura damage and stuff. And so it's hard if like aura damage is like a giant open door. So it's easy for invasive energy and people, thanks for the initials, to access. So you want to just check everything around there. So governing vessel, aura is fine. Astral body, aura is fine there. Physical body, aura is fine there. Urinary bladder, ooh, yeah, urinary bladder, aura has a big rip all in like upper back and neck and back of head. So that would be hard to have boundaries there then. Level of damage. So urinary bladder, meridian, aura. So if we look, so that's the yellow one right there that we're looking at, right? And then see, so that's that yellow line, that's the urinary bladder, meridian, aura. So all that part right there, the aura that's supposed to, there's a special aura, the aura of the urinary bladder, meridian, aura. Well, the aura of the urinary bladder, meridian, right? It goes all around you, but it's especially significant anywhere immediately around the meridian itself, right? And so it's like really ripped open, like all right here. It's just wide open. So it's easier for invasive energy to get through there. Also, your good karma windows. I don't know if you I don't know if you know a lot of my work because I don't know if you're a newbie or not with the, you might be a newbie though, new as in new to my work. But good karma windows, I don't know if you know what those are, but those are like little back doors kind of. And there's one in each aura layer of your astral body aura, and some of those are damaged back here. So like 7, 6, 5 are okay, 4 is okay, 3, 2, and 1 here are kind of smashed up. So you just ask your angels to help you heal the area. You know, ask your angels to remove any invasive beings that are in the way. Say, angels, you please recycle any invasive beings that are in the way. And then just imagine the big valley that's ripped out of your urinary bladder, aura, and just keep using a lot of gold light so it grows back and grows back, and so that it's all full, you know, because auras are supposed to protect you. So when it's ripped away, obviously it can't protect you. Oh yeah, you're a newbie, good. So acknowledgement is encouraging as a really hurt one. Oh, I'm sorry. So your urinary bladder meridian aura, I just healed it a little bit, so it's a little better than it was, but it's still pretty blocked. I think it's like a chronic thing that is not just today. You know, that your urinary bladder meridian aura was all ripped up. So it's repaired now, but there's like hard plates of, you know, stuck energy, which is not super uncommon. I mean, to be honest, but it's super uncomfortable, you know, because you're somewhat present, and so you really feel it. So it's kind of like this hard, it's like sleeping on a mattress that's just like a hard rock, you know, kind of. So it's like these levels of, so just use gold light from your hands and just, you know, say, angels, you know, can you help me do this? And just because, you know, there could be some invasive beings in the way. So if you keep asking your angels for help, they'll get them out of your way, and, you know, and just keep melting this stuff away, so that, because you need the auras to be whole, and you also need them to be very flowing, because if they're not flowing, it hurts. And it's easy for invasive energy to then cord. And if invasive people or invasive beings throw energy, if you have a lot of hardness, that means it makes your aura very weak. And so then it's like as if if someone were to throw a spear at an apple, it's going to like stick right in there, right? But if someone throws a spear at like a waterfall, it goes through the waterfall, right? So flowing auras is like that. If somebody throws energy and you have these great flowing whole auras, it just diffuses the force. And so most of it doesn't even go in your space, and the rest of it just gets diffused, and so nothing is destroyed, right? But if you have a lot of hardness, it's kind of like that apple. And so then the hard object and or the blast of energy goes in, and it just breaks stuff up, and it causes destruction, damage to your chakras and your meridians, and it hurts. So bottom line, just keep working the back of your base. But so urinary bladder meridian, weight you, or it's whole now, guarded whole, astral, physical whole, small intestine is whole, large gallbladder, yeah. So I think the auras are whole now. So you just need to work the like the base of skull points, all those points. Like there's 2 rows of points, one at the level of the top of the earlobe and one at the level of the bottom of the earlobe in that diagram. And so just those all are chakras, like this shape, and so the energy flows in, and they're like energy centers, and they generate energy and they keep them flowing. So you just want to use gold light and maybe red earth energy, and just keep, because you have a lot of like red crusty blocks like in the meridians and around them. And so you just got to take your time, because it's been there for a while, but just, keep melting all that, and just keep asking your angels for help with it. So hope that makes sense. You're saying, yes, that makes sense. Good. Also, you could do chakra repair though, because your 6th chakra, your 5th chakra, and your 4th chakra are also damaged in the back, like the big energy centers. So you could go to like this healing won't have video chapters in it until maybe tomorrow when I get them done. I used to do them tonight, but it's like after this healing, I'm just so spent. I just need to like do like something stupid for the rest of the night. So I probably won't do video chapters till tomorrow, but you can go to like the last healing live stream that already has video chapters in it and go to the chakra repair chapter, or I have a short video playlist, and that has a video, like it's probably 7 minutes long or 6 minutes long, that has chakra repair in it. I'll link that in the chat. It's also on my YouTube channel page. It says it's one of the playlists. It says short videos from 2024 and 2025, something like that. But let's see if I find the chakra repair one. Because I think if you repair the chakras, I didn't get, you repair those chakras and then keep on blocking those auras, especially urinary bladder meridian weichi aura. I think it won't hurt so bad, which is great. Yeah, repair all and unblock all chakras at once. So you could do that and then just double check chakras, the upper chakras, to make sure they repaired properly. So this is the so that's the chakra repair video, or standalone video. Absolutely no rush. I have my homework. I'll look at the chakra repair videos. Thank you. Yes, I just linked it there. So yeah, if you do want to get one of these healings, you could go on my website and purchase a set of the healings, like next month. But obviously you could just heal yourself if you want to, and use all the videos and stuff. Okay, so this is really long enough. I always say I'm going to go short, and then I don't. Oh well. But yeah, that newbie, if you want to email and say hi, that'd be fun anyway too. But you don't have to, but you could. Alrighty, let's see. Enough energy healing games for one day, right? So I don't. Oh yeah, I guess we'll do a pet update. Why not? Okay, so pet update. Izzy, our dog, is fine. He's a little crazy, but I think the medications that he has to be on make him a little crazy. He's on a medication for seizures and medication for allergies, and it's one or the other tends to make them crazy. Because I know, because we used to have a dog that was on those same medications, and after a while he became kind of nuts. But you can't take a dog off seizure medication that they need, because that's really not pretty. So, you know, given the crazy factor, Izzy, our dog, is doing fine. And we do have 2 cats, indoors only cats, and they're doing fine. One is, well, they're both my husband's cats, because I didn't really want any more pets. But but you know, I love them, of course. So Boo Boo Kitty is the one that's feral. She's all gray. She's adorable. And but she's feral, so she doesn't want us to touch her and stuff. But she does make like teeny little bits of progress, which is, I won't say exciting. It's kind of like, it's good though. It's pleasing. You know, she's a very slow motion progress kind of gal though. No, but if you have 0 expectations for her, then it's like, it's not so bad. So, and she and our Lorenzo, my husband's new kitten. My husband has a kitten because Boo Boo Kitty's not cuddly at all because she's feral. But we didn't know that before she became our cat, and so he wanted a cuddler. So now he has the kitten also, who definitely is a cuddler. And if my husband's listening, he can bring out the kitten now. I'll text him. Might not be listening. Live stream. Oh, he was listening. Anyway, so I think he's gonna bring the kitten now. But Felix is the kitten. I was forgetting his name. But he's fine. He's the kitten. He's adorable. He's pretty self-amusing, which is great because we don't have 2 kittens. We just have 1. And he only interacts with our feral cat Boo Boo Kitty so far through the under the door. They swatted each other under the door. Yeah, you can. Hey, baby boy. Oh, are you groggy? Getting grogginess? Getting grogginess? Oh, baby boy. Wanna come here? Here? Normally he's like all on top of me. Like when I was emailing all the clients last night, I have to input so many emails, you know, because I'm you know, healing 140 people. So the email address list for the email is quite extensive. So I'm very like nervous. I have to double check how to get all the names right and everything, because people freak out if I forget to put their name in the email, because then they think I'm not healing them, which isn't true, you know, whatever. So I have to be very careful with the email, putting in all these email addresses. I'm double checking. And meanwhile, Felix is like all on my lap and like threatening to like delete everything by getting on my keyboard. So I was like, I sent it really fast after I double checked all the email addresses because I was so nervous that he was going to just delete everything. Or I could send it. Here, come here, buddy. There he is, little sleepy kitten. You're so. So we got him a vet appointment coming up next month. So that's kind of exciting. We were going to bring his brother Izzy at the same time, our dog, but Lorenzo wanted it to just be about him. So he'll have his own vet appointment. Just all about him and how fabulous he is. such a little cutie. Anyway, he swats his sister under the door. And when we eat, well, we eat first and then we feed them this meal where like he's in this little cage on the floor and she can walk around. And so he eats in his cage and then she walks around. So she gets to like observe him and see what he's about. And usually she'll hiss at him once, each night. But there was one night she didn't hiss at all, which was interesting. But so we don't know. Lorenzo wants to wait until Felix is as big as she is, so that if there is a fight, that he won't get too hurt because they'll be even strength. But I don't know. I'm more along lines of, well, let's just get it over with, because he's quite a peppy boy, so I think he could hold his own. I mean, hopefully, obviously, they wouldn't physically fight. They would just hiss at each other, and that would be that. He's typing on the keyboard for me. There we go. Oh, nice. He didn't sleep on the keyboard. He didn't lie down on the keyboard. But anyway, but then Orson, he's the cat that Lorenzo, we almost adopted, but he turned out he had a microchip to this kind of cat hoarder up the street. And that's kind of a sad situation. So like the cat hoarder guy, he didn't want us to have his cat as our pet, but his cat is always in our property because he has so many cats that this cat doesn't want to be around his property except to show up to get food and then leave. And so night and day, he's on our property outside the whole time, and the cat hoarder guy's like, well, he must like it that way, but we feel so bad because he's out there in the rain, he's out there in the cold, and it's just kind of heartbreaking, but legally that's his cat. And so very awkward. So we're probably going to at least just buy like a nice little outdoor house for him. We have an outdoor house, a heated outdoor cat house, but it's like small for when Boo Boo was out there before we brought her in. And he's a big boy because he gets overfed by his owner. That's another thing. It's like a little heartbreaking, is that it's really unhealthy for him to be so overweight, but whatever. I have to just, give it to the angels. Yeah, he can't do it. Can't do, some things are beyond your control. So he's not our cat, but we probably will get him a very nice house. And if we do, we'll definitely show you a photo of it. But he is kind of clever. Like he's found a way to like sleep right up against our house so the rain doesn't, his houses out here, since it rains so much, houses out here have very big roofs that, so there's like this whole space around the house where the rain doesn't go because the roof is so giant. And so he's right up against the house on the dry part, and he like spends all day and night there now. So, it is what it is. But so that's that. But I'll show you. Oh, someone says Boo Boo Kitty seems to have a strong personality, probably very balanced 7th chakras. Yeah, she I like her. I mean, I I'm used to feral cats, Zen that we used to have was feral, and she was bonded to me, and she was very, I mean, I think for me, Boo Kitty's way easier. I mean, for one thing, Lorenzo mostly takes care of her because I didn't want a cat. And so he was like, well, I'll take care of her. So I'm like, okay. But also, like, because Zen was bonded to me. And so she always wanted to be around me. And she was kind of mean, she would scratch and stuff. So you had to be very careful. I mean, I would, whatever. She was a little aggressive sometimes. So you had to be very careful. And, she would always be like glued to me. And so to have a cranky cat glued to you all the time is kind of a lot, whereas Boo Boo Kitty, she just doesn't want she doesn't want us to touch her, but she's not glued to me or anything. So she's easier than Zen was. Sure. So I want to show you a Felix came. Hey, Felix. All right, so wrap it up. You guys are amazing. I hope whatever's next for you is fabulous. And the final healing for this month that I'm going to do is the one on Sunday in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days from now on Sunday. That'll be the final healing of this twin set. So you guys are amazing. And if you want to know more about what I do and or buy a healing set for yourself or a loved one, that is my website address. And if you want to just say hi and you're a newbie and I don't know your YouTube ID, you could email me at janet@jwhealing.com. Okay, bye.